It's our weekly live stream that we do. Well, it says nooner, but it's usually a little later than nooner. And today I had to pick up Nerdrotic Jr. from school because the last 3 days of school are half days. Not sure what the point is of that, but lucky him, right? And it's good to have him around the house. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Kind of a slowish news week. So what I decided to do with this one is, and I want to do this more with the weekly live streams, is talk about the shows we cover, kind of do a little week in review. We've had some time to process the episodes. Maybe we've changed our mind a few things. Maybe I've changed my mind on a few things, some theories, and just basically, doing a little rundown of last week's episode and what I think is going on with stuff, latest news. But we're also going to do some news. Some stuff did pop up today, like some Watchmen news, some American God news. One is a show we will be covering, although I'm not so sure about that Watchmen on HBO, to be honest with you. And American Gods, which I loved, but it's going to be a completely different show with new showrunners and losing 2 major cast members. So hello, everybody in chat. And also, we could talk about whatever you want to talk about, whatever you guys want to bring up. And we have got a packed room today. Thanks for waiting. Dakota, the ETA is now. Sorry. Yeah, I thought I got back a little early. I thought I was going to go early, but as always, and we could talk about a little behind the scenes stuff. Been having camera issues. I got this cool little $100 4K Brio camera that is pretty much set up for a PC. So when you hook it up to a Mac, it sometimes just does not want to operate right. So I have to unhook it, hook it back up to the PC, update the settings, and then hook it back up to my Mac, and then everything's fine. So we were having some weird streaming issues too, but everything is okay. Everything, restarting the computer helps that out quite a bit. So how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm having a great day. Got some yard work done, picked up my kid, went to the gym, had a productive day, and I still have a lot of it left. We're also going to be, I'm going to be with Comics Division and Feisty Fan later today to do our final singular episode recap of Farscape before we just jump into the seasons. So we're going to do episode 5 a little later today. It seems that YouTube has fixed the problem with my channel with only putting up 2 hours of a live stream at first before it completely renders. It looks like that problem's been worked out, so we can go as long as we want to go today. I hope that's okay with everybody. I on Westworld last night, I could have gone for 2 hours. We had over 230 people watching us live, which is freaking amazing for this channel. And the number kept going up, and I'm like, man, I hate to end this, but I usually try to keep it around hour 15, but I reserve the right for the finale of Westworld to do a 2-hour recap, because we might need to really, I hate this term, but unpack some stuff. I don't know. Okay, so be warned, if I'm going to talk about the Expanse and Legion and Westworld, there may be some spoilers involved with that. So you have been warned, but I'll warn you before I get into that. I'm going to wait for a few more people to get in here. I'm going to go over some chat a little bit. Yes. Hello, Viking bitch, Penn Farm Girl, Dakota Stanton, Mark, Penn Farm Girl, Bad Bunny. Hey, you changed your avatar, Bad, or you have one now. Okay, I think it was just B, right? I can't remember. It was something green. Gravlane, what's up? How's everybody doing today? The channel, it's been an exciting week for the channel. The last couple weeks, we have doubled the size of our channel in the space of 3 weeks. So that is crazy. Very unexpected. Did not see that coming. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I was happy at 2,000 subscribers. I'm like perfectly happy with where I'm at right now, where we're at. So I really like the fact that I can pretty much read every comment in the chat and go over it. So yeah, this is a solo live stream. So there might be a little moments of silence while I try to read a chat. I apologize for those of you who listen to us on iTunes and it's audio. At first, I wasn't going to put this on iTunes, but I decided to do it, and it's gotten a pretty decent response. We do okay on iTunes. We've been there the longest. And honestly, I've never checked the stats. I think there's a place you can go check the stats. I can check it in my feed burner, but I don't know if iTunes has a place where you can look at your analytics. So I have no idea how many people are really listening. But we've been on iTunes for almost 5 years now. Dennis and I have been doing this for almost 5 years, and I have been podcasting on and off since 2009. What the worst part? My dad likes it, but can't stand the Expanse. WTF? What does he like? Oh, Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, that's one thing. If you read the description of this, so it's the Expanse, Westworld Legion, we can review. It was going to be titled The Expanse, Westworld, and Legion combined for 2 Saturn Award nominations. And the wonderful Susan Layton pointed back. She's really good at just handing me stuff to talk about on Monday. She's great about that. And very subtle. So yeah, this is a gold mine. Now I know the Saturn Awards were announced back in March 15th, but honestly, there's something I used to pay attention to back when I was reading Starlog back in the late 80s and early 90s. But Star Trek Discovery, we're going to count. It got nominated for a lot of Saturn Awards. Yeah, Westworld and The Expanse combined for 2 nominations. One of them's a really damn good nomination. Okay, it's best sci-fi series, and the other one is just best Blu-ray. Okay, well, I will say that it needs to win. Hands down, Westworld's 4K metal box Blu-ray, which I think I got for $40, is by far the best transfer I've ever seen. Great behind the scenes, and this just on top of that, the series rewatchability. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but Westworld is the best episode of Twilight Zone I've ever seen. That just happens to be a series. It is so goddamn good. And last night's episode, man, holy crap! The last 2 episodes have been so great. And I'm going on the Westworld Reddit, and we'll go over there. There's people kind of complaining. I don't get it. I don't get it. It just goes to show you can't please everybody. So yeah. So Star Trek Discovery got a lot of Saturn Award nominations, and Carrie Fisher was nominated for a Saturn Award for Princess Leia in Last Jedi. God bless her. I love Carrie Fisher. Okay, loved her. I actually liked her more as a person than an actress. I thought she was hilarious and honest and open about all of her problems, and her books were great. She was always in and out of recovery, so I kind of followed that. Those of us who have been in recovery for a long time, we've all kind of been in and out at times. So I really empathized with the fight she had with addiction and stuff. And yeah, hope she's resting in peace. I hope her mind is finally at peace. But she always had a really good, whimsical attitude about all the pain she went through, I guess. Star Trek Discovery, Silver Spike sucks. Yes. The first season did. I gave it a fair shake. I gave it as fair a shake as I could have. If you go back and watch our reviews, there's even a couple of times I started like enjoying it. It was all the mirror universe stuff, and the Jonathan Frakes directed episode is far beyond the best episode. If it finally felt like a Star Trek episode. But once they got out of the mirror universe, it nosedive. And once it lost Jason Isaacs, that's the trouble with the writing, is they put an emphasis so much on another character who wasn't built up right. When you bring in a Jason Isaacs, he outshone everybody. Michelle Yeoh, I would have loved to have seen more of her. I thought she was going to be in like the whole series, and she wasn't. I'm glad she's still around. I'm interested in her character. Actually, the character she turned out to be later is more interesting than when she started out as. But this show has got we'll dissect that one a little bit. I really want to talk. I want to do a sit down with Doomcock, even if we have to record it. somehow, some way. I'll see if he's up for it and talk about the Saturn Awards, like really go over the Saturn Awards. And then Susan even talked about like trying to go, and I'm like, screw it, I'll try. I mean, we're not a media source, but I can call us one just to get us in at some point. No, yeah, we are not media. We are just a bunch of people talking with a bunch of other people. I'm gonna go try to get caught up in the chat here. It's a lot of crosstalk because I was late. Hellos to everybody. Feisty, what's up, Feisty fan? How you doing? Viking bitch says, I was told to wear a condom if I watched STD. I don't think they make condoms for your eyes. They're called contact lenses. You need a condom for your mind. Viking bitch. They call them beer goggles, says Dakota Stanton. Steve, I'm sorry, Steve. I don't want to mess. I'm going to say Steve. I don't want to mess up your last name. Your wonderful last name. Mine gets messed up all the time too. If you gain significant audience, you can get media passes to premieres and stuff. Yeah, I mean, if it keeps growing, I'll definitely do that. But it'll always be with us, kind of a one and done. Because where I would probably be a little more like, I don't know. I would say I would chill, but I can't. I really can't. It's not in my DNA. So I'd be invited to something and be honest about it. Darian Anderson. Hey, dude. What's up? TK420. How's it going? Yeah, we definitely need to work that to get in some kind of I don't know, to get worked in. Dakota, thank you. This is my bribe for you to do Stargate season review after Farscape. Okay, done. We'll do Stargate will be the one after that. Yeah, so Farscape will be the starting of a long like retro review of science fiction shows that deserve that. Actually, John and I and John will be back for some stuff. Talked about doing a Buffy one and stuff, but Stargate will be next. I'm easily bought. $5. I'm cheap. What can I say? Please never shill. That's what's wrong with the big YouTubers now, Dante S. I won't. And here's why I won't. Okay. I can't say I won't. If somebody comes at me with like 20 grand in cash, Shillorama. But if it's just like a gift basket with like a Blu-ray and a t-shirt and like, nah, no tchotchkes. I'm covered in that stuff. Like, and that honestly, that's what most of the shilling is from. It's not from actual money. It's access. It's access. And Dennis and I don't have time for access. I don't want to speak for Susan. That's why Susan won't, Susan's not a shill either though. Susan's like real, like she will not bullshit. I don't think it's in her DNA at all. So that's why she fits in real well. So I can promise you we won't shill because the only thing they can offer is access. And honestly, I don't have time for access. I have time to do this, and that's it. Not quitting my day job. I love it too much. And the benefits are awesome. And yeah, so no shilling here. Plus, I think that's the only thing we really have going for us is we don't chill. I don't know how great we really are. We just don't chill. Be yourself. That's all you can be, says Ion Trone. Yes. Babylon 5, then Stargate, then so we'll do Stargate, Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica. Does that sound good? And then we can do, the summer, we're not covering a lot of shows, so I can do 2 a week in that one, and we could cover both shows. So I really want to do BSG. Keep hearing the same thing about was waiting for the summer. I'll have time to catch up on a bunch of shows, says Garen Greger. Yeah. And please hit us up when you catch up, when you have time. when you have time. Viking Bitch and Dennis both love Legion, and Legion deserves tons of love. It is an amazing show. It's a show for people who are kind of visual first. It's kind of like a comic book reader. You got many kinds of comic book readers, but some of your main comic book readers are story first or art first. Like Feisty, we'll talk about this all the time. Feisty's an artist, art first. I'm art first with a comic book as well. So with TV shows, it kind of mix it up, but that it is the most visually stunning, the best sound I've ever heard on a TV show. It's almost best with like a rockin' 7.1, but if you can't afford that, just get a decent pair of headphones and listen to it with headphones, and it really makes the show better. Especially and it advances plot, because a lot of the whispering you hear in the background is telling you stuff. So, and even the voiceover, there's a place in Legion, it's called Division 3, where they're kind of set up as a base right now, and the PA announcements are always weird, vague PA announcements, like anger is not a gift or something like that. I just made that one up. That wasn't an actual one from the show, but there's some great ones in the show. I want to gather them up and read them. Yes, Silver Spike, Buffy. I know Joss Whedon is much maligned right now, and deservedly so, but try to separate the art from the artist, and I love Buffy. I do. Funny story, I didn't bring it up on our Friday night. I was going to, and it came up on my personal Facebook, and I'm not going to show it. You're gonna have to trust me, because I don't want to call. It was a good friend of mine was doing WhedonCon, which I think was a couple weeks ago, or maybe coming up. I think it was a couple weeks ago. So WhedonCon in LA. So WhedonCon, and she put up. I just couldn't help. She put up, hey, I need some good questions for the speed dating rounds at WhedonCon. And I don't know, like 3 bad jokes, like really hit my head right away. Like, I mean, you could go there, but it's just like, Mr. Whedon, why do we have this couch in the office? Why are you making me sit on this couch, Mr. Whedon, for my interview? Or I think of questions like that for speed dating. I don't know. There's just too many jokes there that I'm not going to go into, because most of them are dirty, but and inappropriate. I guess that's the same thing. But yeah, I just saw that, and made me crack up. And we actually had a bit set up around it, and we totally forgot to do it. But yes, speed dating round jokes at WhedonCon. Go. You guys can have fun with that if you want. If you want in the video. Yeah, I know it's low-hanging fruit, but I like that. Stargate 1 was amazing, says the sailing coconut. Legion is the weirdest, most artistic show I have ever seen. And yeah, it is. Absolutely. And that's coming from a wonderfully weird artist. You could always be someone who makes fun of shills like Red Letter Media do with their Nerd Crew videos. Yeah, Omari, they're also making fun of like me. I mean, like, look at the background here, which that's good. You gotta they can make fun of guys like me. That's fine. Funny thing about Red Letter Media that world-class bullshitters pointed out today, as a matter of fact, was they had a really positive review of The Force Awakens, but then they started crapping on it later. I thought that was weird, but I love Red Letter Media. They're really good. But I thought that was weird, why they kind of backtracked on that. Hey, people can change their mind, and that's totally fine. It's totally fine to like something and a couple years later going, maybe I was just a little too nostalgic on that one. I was like that with Force Awakens. I walked out of that movie going, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then, a couple months later, I'm like, it wasn't. It wasn't. People, you get new data, you change your mind. Dakota Stan, I end faster than Firefly. Legion is sci-fi made by art grads, yes, who finished top of their class, but art grads nonetheless. Weirder than the new Twin Peaks? Don't think so. I think it's Well, Twin Peaks like is weird personified, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but it's pretty weird. It's on the same level. If it's a 1A 1B situation. I just want Mr. Plinkett's review of The Last Jedi. Omar, has he done one yet? I don't think he has. I do too. I mean, like they're groundbreaking. Like, I knew I didn't like the Force Phantom Menace, and I never thought very much why I didn't like it until I saw Mr. Plinkett's review, and then I understood why. He explains why it wasn't good. I mean, there's so the dynamic here on the channel, with me and Dennis is it's funny. Somebody brought it up in a comment for the Westworld, and it was being very complimentary. They're like, "Hey, we just caught your show. I really love what you do," and she said, "What I really like is your interruptions." And I'm like, "I don't really interrupt, Dennis. It's part of the shtick." So Dennis is the play-by-play. When we do recaps, Dennis is the play-by-play, and I'm the color commentator. So Dennis runs down the episode, and then I pipe in when I can. When I see an opening, I jump in and I give a theory or like a notice, like, "Hey, I really liked her hair in that scene," or something like that. That's kind of what we do. And it turned into that. It was not something we planned. The reason we started taking notes on reviews was because my memory is shite. So I started taking notes, and Dennis's memory is pretty good. But he takes notes more to keep the order going so we can go through the episode fully. These things started out just like us talking about the episode, but we'd go all over the place. We'd start at the ending and then talk about something in the middle. We needed something a little more structured that people can go along with. And at first people hated it because we spoiled the crap out of the show. And I'm not too sure show creators, the couple we've heard from have been complimentary. This is back channel, by the way, but have both said like I just read between the lines that they're not entirely happy we spoiled the crap out of the show the night of the show. Sorry, but we really try to warn you. Like don't jump in until you've seen the show. Please see the show. Omar Daniels says the first thing Noah Hawley showed for season 2 of Legion was an image from the pool scene with Lenny and Oliver. Image of season 3's imagine if season 3's first image was David next to Charles's wheelchair. That would be awesome. Oh. So with Fox has pretty much come out and said the Dark Phoenix movie is going to be the end of the X-Men. That's it for Fox. The Disney deal is pretty much going to go through. People can dream about stopping it, but they're not going to stop. Murdoch, the CEO of Fox, wants this to happen. Bob Iger wants this to happen. I can't see somebody stopping these two guys. Unless it's the actual government, which I guess is a possibility. But that being said, I want Patrick Stewart in this season, or I want, they've alluded to him. But it really made actually the biggest news from Legion when it was off season was Patrick Stewart saying he wanted to be in the show. That was like the biggest news. So hopefully they saw that. Susan is the hammer of truth. She is. She absolutely is. Every X-Men movie is outright boring next to Legion. It kind of is. After this season, I even like Legion more than I like Deadpool, the first Deadpool movie, which I think is almost a perfect superhero movie, to be honest with you. But TV is where it's at. That's why we cover most of it. And hang on, what's a good name for Expanse fans other than Expanse fans? Like, is it Screaming Firehawks, or is it Expansers, or is it OPA? I don't know. Like, we need a name. We need a name for Expanse fans. And I was going over to the Facebook group, and it doesn't look like anybody's like talked about anything for Comic-Con. So when we finish up talking about Legion here, we're gonna talk. I want to talk some Expanse stuff. Legion has spoiled me for a lot of other shows. I can't help but compare now. Yeah. Yes. The Inners, Dakota Stanton. Yes, we should be called the Inners. Screaming Firehawks. That's a thing that started on Iron Throne. That was a thing that started on Twitter. That was part of our group. That was part of the Save the Expanse stuff. Save the Expanse movement. Yeah, I gotta check out. Gotta check out, see how the stream is doing. Because it was up and down. I like the Belters. Yeah, that's something, we gotta kind of work on. I think we need a following name at this point, because the following has been made. We saved the damn show, and I think we should kind of stick with it. I don't know. Okay, what I want to warn is no disrespect to the brown coats out there. Okay, I know there's a lot of brown coats out there. Brown coats are awesome. Screaming Firehawks since the start of season 2. So Screaming Firehawks, it is Belinda. How are you, Belinda? Yeah. So I like the brown coats. I have hung out with the brown coats before, but the brown coats, I like Expanse fans. I'll just say that. BSG they had a following too. I don't know if they had a name for it. They probably did. I never paid much attention to it. I know Mab from Bleeding Cool and the Aggressive Comics is really into she is really into BSG, and she would know the name for it. But yeah, I'm hoping. What I really want, I want the Expanse to be at Comic-Con this year. I think it's time to level up now that they're at Amazon now. Now that we've done all this amazing job, and they're going to get a bigger budget and let me show you, because I have it right here, what the Expanse's advertising was last year for Comic-Con. You had to go to the Escape the Expanse, which was at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was on Island Avenue. Okay, Island Avenue and J Street and 3rd. Now you don't know San Diego, so this is kind of this right here. That's East Harbor Boulevard, right? The con is okay, hang on, is over here. That's where the con was. So this was a good mile away from the con, and you had to go and escape the Expanse. So you got this fidget spinner, and this is the best part, I guess, is you got a little bag. Okay, and I'm not bitching about the free stuff. Okay, it's cool that they got some merch at all, and I actually use this for my groceries. But I'm looking forward to Comic-Con this year, because I want to talk to Bezos about some merchandise. Let's get some action figures, dude. Let's get some ships. Okay, I want a Rosie. I want a 1/6 scale. I'll take a 1/12 scale, but I want a 1/6 scale Rosie, please. And yeah, shilling. I will pay lots of money for that. Take my money. Okay. Also, Dennis messaged me today. I had no fucking idea that Stephen Strait was in Sky High. He played War and Peace. I'm like, shut the front door. And I went and looked at a picture. I'm like, oh my God. That's Stephen Strait. I know everybody in the world knew this, but I completely forgot. I freaking love Sky High. Okay. I think it's a great movie. My kids freaking love that movie. But yeah, man. Here, this is our boy. This is Holden. Sorry, it's a small picture, but yeah. There he is. Look at that long, pretty hair. Oh. Yeah, Sky High. With Bruce Campbell, by the way. Bruce Campbell. Yeah. That's something we'll retro review for sure. I freaking dig that movie. What's up, Ed Brewer? Rockhoppers is good too. But Belinda, yeah. Once a name sticks, it's there. So Belinda says it's been since season 2. So I'm going to go with Screaming Firehawks. They were kind enough to call me part of it. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that. And hopefully we can get some Screaming Firehawks to Comic-Con. We can make some noise. I think there'll be a panel. And I want there to be, to be merchandising. And once they're like I said before, Amazon promoted The Expanse more than Sci-Fi ever did. Period. I mean, like every time The Expanse hit Amazon Prime, you knew about it. But I guarantee you now that it's going to go to Amazon, there's going to be people going, hey, there's this new show on Amazon Prime called The Expanse, which is great. I mean, they'll notice it, but it's going to get a much bigger following. It is. The show's that good. Now, there are some people who just flat out don't like sci-fi, and that's fine. You're never going to change their minds. But if you're like an on the fence sci-fi person, it's gonna hook you in. Feisty fans watching it now. Comics division's watching it. I got my friend Justin at work is watching it. Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna do book reviews. So I've decided I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna start it. I'll probably do the first 2 before the season ends because there really won't be any spoilers. But yeah, once I get into the 3rd book and beyond, there will be major show spoilers. So if you don't read the books, you might want to check those out later. I'll warn you in advance. But enough people have hollered back and said, yeah, they want book reviews. And, I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but I'll figure it out. I've read all of them multiple times. Haven't read all the novellas yet, though. I need to do that. Shilling for the Rosie. Hell yeah. I'll shill for, is it shilling when it's for free though? It's free shilling. The Expanse is something where I trust the consistency of the writers. I trust the writers. They're not going to like take the show in some weird direction or something like that. They're really good with the books, the changes they make. There's one change that has me worried. I'm going to try to signal this to book readers because I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to say any names or anything, but there was a character change that they gave to another character who is a main character. We'll just say that. And it has me worried, has me really, really worried that if they went there, if you really want to know who I'm talking about, you can email me and I'll say it in the book review. But I just thought of it after I saw that there's a certain character that they I've talked about in the review. So they've taken a character and kind of spliced it into 3 between we'll just say the Belters. And it has me worried. Yes, Brian Smart. How are you? One of our oldest subs, wonderful, smart person with great taste in YouTubers, I must say. Brian Smart, yes. Gary, will you be covering Cloak and Dagger on Thursday on Freeforms? Yes, I will be covering it. As it stands right now, the only thing, because I unplugged, so the only thing I view that has Freeform is YouTube TV. And it's a 2-hour premiere, which means like the recap would be at 10. So I'm kind of searching around. Sling doesn't carry Freeform anymore. I think maybe DirecTV Now does, but then I'd have to get a VPN because I want to get the East Coast feed. So I'm trying to watch it earlier. That's what I'm trying to say. So we can do the recap a little earlier. Otherwise, it's going to be 10 and then it'll shift back to 9. But yes. And Brian, unless it's like terrible. Okay. I mean, like, I'll give it a fair shake. And we always 4 episodes. That's what we give it. 4 episodes. And 4 episodes in, and it doesn't have to be the greatest thing ever. Okay. It just has to be watchable, in my opinion, because I just don't want to be shitting on a show every episode. I reserve that for Star Trek Discovery. But yes, Cloak and Dagger is definitely in. What's up, comics? Feisty's working on her FOC. That is final cutoff for you guys who don't know comic book stuff. Guys, what are your thoughts of Halam 899 live? What's up, man? What are your thoughts on Darth Maul being in Han Solo movie? We talked about that in our review. Halam, my thoughts are it was fan service, and while it was awesome seeing Ray Park. I love Ray Park. I like the concept of Darth Maul. They made him a little more interesting in the in Rebels, and but the one thing that bugged me about the hologram was, why did he grab for his lightsaber at the end there? You know, because he was in a hologram talking to Kira, and he's all, "We're gonna go get him," blah, blah, blah. And it was like a badass looking scene. But then when the hologram is over and he's standing there alone holding a lightsaber for no reason, he's like, I don't know why I did that. Oh, okay, take that back, please. You know, and I think it confused a lot of people, and it showed. I think it really showed how many people didn't watch the Clone Wars and Rebels and don't care about the extended universe. Um, the extended universe is something that they're going to be able to mine, and that's fine, but that's not going to bring in the GP, the general population, the normies, whatever, the people who actually pay for everything. Okay. The people you actually want into your product. I know a lot of people hate that, but that they are what drive the worlds, is your average Joe who doesn't watch a lot of the EU or read the comics or anything like that. That's a very small percentage of the fan base. It's one that spends the most money and one you don't want to piss off, but that's not who they are. When I mean they, I mean the powers that be who make stuff, that they are always looking for just the general public. That's it. So yeah, it was fan service, and I think it's setting up something that they're not going to do now. I also think it was to tie in Rebels and Clone Wars to really show that it is canon. I know they've said it's canon, but now it's like, there it is right there. And they also put some Rebels stuff into, I know they put it into Rogue One, but it was like background ships. Like, this is bringing back Darth Maul. And, you know, I got to work the next day and people were like, did he have robot legs? Why does he have robot legs? And I had to spend a half an hour explaining it to people. And not everybody has their resident nerd to explain stuff to them, you know, and I'm not even a extended universe guy. That's actually comics division and Feisty. They could talk to you about all that stuff. Oh man, somebody's calling me. I don't want to talk right now. Okay. I will watch, Love Pun says, I will watch each Cloak and Dagger episode like 10 times. If they do it right, they are some of my favorite characters in my favorite era of Spider-Man. And this was early 80s, Black Cat stuff, a lot of Roger Stern stuff. It was like just good stuff. The writers are amazing and really nice. For what? The Sailing Coconut? For The Expanse or Cloak and Dagger? Sorry. I'm sure that was a response to something I said earlier. Yeah, James Comics is recovering from his excessive use of cocaine. I mean, his sinus surgery. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Sorry, Comics. Good thing you're anonymous. Bye, Comics. Oh, I said that while he's gone. I love talking shit about people when they're not here. I have not read Injection by Warren Ellis. It's being made into a TV series. Anything by Warren Ellis is pretty damn good. I'll have to read it. That's right, Amari. True. The general population account for more dollars at the box office than us in the geek crowd. Yep. We are probably a percent of the population, couple percent. We're not big. If the geek community was big, if their say count, I always go back to Serenity. Serenity didn't do well at the box office, but it got such a push to get the actual movie made. It was a lot like Saving the Expanse. To get that movie made was incredible, and it was also the power of Joss Whedon. But it was a movement. It was an internet movement. It was an early one, and it worked. Problem is, they did way too many free screenings, and all those free screenings, all the actual hardcore fans went to those free screenings. So you kind of took away your dollars. And then those free screenings, the word of mouth didn't get out. So the movie didn't really do well. Now, it did well in Blu-ray and DVD sales, and it is an excellent movie. I mean, really, it is a great, 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 great movie. And a great way to end Firefly. Actually, it was such a great movie. Like, I'm okay with them not continuing the series now, and I just look at it as just this one story. That's how great it was. And heart-wrenching and everything, but yeah, too many free screenings. They made a lot of mistakes. Universal made a ton of mistakes with that. Promotion was bad. So, but it also showed that it's a very small percentage of us nerds, or Snakes on a Plane would have done great too, because that was the talk of Comic-Con that year. Like, nobody could talk about anything else but Snakes on a fucking Plane, and then it bombed. So it was the hit of Comic-Con, and yeah, being the hit of Comic-Con does not mean you're gonna get in the $100 million, $200 million territory. Not at all. It doesn't guarantee it. Sorry if you hear dogs in the background. My wife's home. Steve, I'm caught up. Okay, so I'm all caught up on Legion, but I'm a completionist with these Netflix shows. I've even sat through all of Iron Fist. It's funny, and when I bring up the Saturn Awards, guys, the Netflix shows do not go into the superhero TV category. They go into a new media superhero TV character, which I'll go over, which is kind of BS. I didn't like Jessica Jones season 2 either. Stopped watching it. Hopefully the solo flop will make Disney realize they need to go a different direction for standalone films. Lots of backstories in the EU. I would love to see a Darth Raven film today. Maybe under JD Fealty. I would like to see that under a new regime. Now, I know from like YouTube videos the story of Darth Raven, and I want to see that too. I definitely do. Mako said I didn't like Jessica Jones season 2 either. Stopped watching it. Yeah, we watched the whole thing. It was not good. It was not good. Yes, let's read. The Expanse writers have been very gracious and generous to me with info, communications, and gifts. They are great. Wow. Belinda, I'm gonna try to hit up the I guess sci-fi PR person to see if we can get somebody on at some point. I mean, it's worth a try. I doubt it, but like it's worth a try. You never know. If Cloak and Dagger is as good as Marvel The Runaways, then I'll be happy, says Alam 899 Live. Agreed. The Runaways is actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good show. I mean, it's YA. Okay, it's definitely YA, but they mix in enough adult stuff to make it interesting. And actually, they really changed the story from the comics, and I like what they did. And of course, they're constrained by budget a little bit, but and there were some slow moments in there but for a first season, it was really good and really well done. Really, really well done. Man, they're still barking. Yeah, hello, Mrs. Nerdrotic. Yeah, what she does is she pulls up in front of the house, and then she's like on her phone for 15 minutes, and the dogs go nuts. So I'm trying to like go tell her to get in here. That's what I'm doing right now. There she goes. She's in now. Golly. If normies did not make up the majority of the population, they would make the rest of us normal. Think about it for a moment. That we need normies, okay? We need them. Hey, I think, okay, sometimes I'm a normie. I dabble in norminess. I'm not. I just like, right. And I don't tell you how I live it, but just the way my wife and I live our life, we are definitely not. We're like we're not the kind of people who shop for furniture. You know what I mean? Like if we need a couch, I'll go to Goodwill and like check it for bugs and buy it for $25 because I have dogs and kids and I don't care about couches that much. And that's not to disrespect anybody who wants to spend tons of money on a good, awesome couch. I'd rather spend that money on comic books or a vacation or something like that. So yeah. So we all of our furniture, everything is secondhand. Everything. Mainly because we're cheap. It is one of the problems. Kilgrave not being in Jessica Jones season 2, the weirdness of him like being in the background for the entire show and then showing up for one episode, you can tell was clearly a guest star and kind of shoehorned in a little bit. Where it would have been better to have him like whispering in her ear like once every other episode or something like that. I think it really would have helped. Also, Jessica Jones ended up in the same damn place she was at the end of season 1 and at the end of The Defenders, which was broken. Like we're not seeing her heal. And in the comics, she heals and she's stronger for it. And that's what makes her badass. She's still completely snarky and cynical, but she's not like depressing, which is, that's what it was. It was depressing. And that's pretty much what I've heard pretty much everybody, say about it. And that and the lack of a villain. This whole weird, we have in our other comic book community, we have a friend named Dalton. Okay. We love Dalton. Dalton likes to talk about the postmodernism a lot, but he's right about especially Jessica Jones and this whole postmodern, like, oh, we can't have bad guys, we can't have good or bad. What is good or bad? That doesn't really exist. These are constructs and blah blah. Now, in a superhero show, we need a bad guy, okay, or a girl. Yeah, that's just what that's what I need. Okay, if you want me to be engaged, anyway, you want to go postmodern. Yeah, that's what the Watchmen sound like it's going to be. Old Republic is great place to tap for old stories for Star Wars. Yes. But they are not listening to you, Feisty, or any other fans right now. That's going to change real soon, though. Anyone see the BBC show The Fades? It's wonderfully strange. I have not, David, but I will check it out. I am currently trying to get through to binge Humans in time to possibly review it. That's the power of David Tennant. You're right, Amari. Damn, I wish he would have just been you know what? It's great that it's better to go out early on top than stay too late. I don't know. I am of the opinion of it's better to burn out than fade away. So I wish we would have gotten 5 more years of David Tennant and Russell T Davies together. It's kind of a bummer we didn't. I'd love to know the real story because it didn't sound like to me. If you watch the end of season 4, the behind the scenes on the Doctor Who season 4, there's no indication Russell T Davies wanted to leave, like zero. He was looking forward to the next stuff, and and all of a sudden he wants to leave. So something happened politically. I don't know what it was. Because their ratings weren't like, it's not like the ratings were going down. It was starting to blow up. And then, if they just would have hung on one more year, because that's when Netflix started showing Doctor Who in America. And that's when it really started blowing up here. Then the BBC just went, man, they screwed up such a good thing. Like, the fact that they're turning the Doctor into a woman now and giving her like the worst, like a year break, coming off a bad season, coming off of 2 bad seasons of horrible writing. The fan base has been decimated, like absolutely decimated. For example, all right, the regeneration into the third Jodie Whittaker was, well, I think the ratings were terrible. It wasn't it should have been the most watched regeneration ever. Okay, they should have gotten David Tennant like numbers, and they didn't. They actually didn't even match when Matt Smith went to Peter Capaldi. It stayed with the trend down. So yeah, and it was a Christmas special too, which is a big deal over there, right? Silver Spike. So I don't know. I love the Doctor Who that was though. It was and nothing it's not like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I mean, to have a show be that good for that long is incredible, absolutely incredible. It probably needs to take a little break and come back in some other way. Uh, The rumor has it the Game of Thrones guys are making an Old Republic inspired trilogy. That is what I heard too. You could also make a trilogy about Yuzan Vong. Did I pronounce that right? Probably not. So, and Silver Spike says I should try the BBC anthology series Inside Number 9. I will try it. Since I've unplugged, I used to watch a lot of BBC America, and that way I'd watch a lot of BBC. You know what I used to listen to a lot, Silver Spike? This is a guilty pleasure. So, satellite, Sirius Satellite here used to play the BBC radio, like your top 40 hits, whatever station it was, BBC 1 or 2 or something like that, with all the fast talking DJs and stuff like that. Could not get enough of that stuff. And I hate pop music, but man, because like it is the cheesiest, bubbliest pop music. Like, you think our pop music is cheesy? No, nope. And man, I could not listen to enough of it. There was a year straight in the comic store. That's all everybody listened to until Sirius got rid of it. I was so pissed. And I just stopped listening. I'm sure you can listen to it online now, but guilty pleasure, BBC Radio. Postmodernism is such an evil ideology, borderline nihilistic. Borderline. Everything's gray. It's not gray. Even my gray is gray. My gray is not gray enough. Yeah. It's called untreated depression. That's the way I like to call it. Did I missed it? Artemis, good question. Is it back up here? Hey Gary. Okay, Gary. The other night you mentioned Defenders 2 will not be happening. Was that announced or is that just a feeling? That is just a feeling. The lack of announcement is an announcement. Word on the street is they weren't happy with the results. It actually did get watched by a lot of people, but it really dipped towards the end. And I mean, they're they know the public is not happy with it. And they can't afford like a big brouhaha, something with a big ending, which was something we deserved, not like a fight amongst dragon bones in a basement, and Sigourney Weaver as your main bad guy. Nah. I see how they tried, but it just didn't work. It didn't work, especially when you have Madame Gao right there. And we talked about that Friday night. Like, they should have just made Madame Gao the big bad, because she was formidable and badass. And I just didn't get that from Sigourney Weaver. I love Sigourney Weaver, but she wasn't formidable or badass. She looked like she was late for a dinner party in Manhattan. So. Yes, Russell T. Davies needs to do Blake 7, man. There's a lot of talk of Blake 7, man. I need to check that out again. Yes, he needs to do a lot of stuff. It's what is he doing right now? Did he get in trouble and we not know about it or something? Because Russell T. Davies, as the time goes on, because I remember when Moffat took over, people were like, even I was saying I kind of like Moffat more than I like Russell T. Davies. And man, I could not have been more wrong. Okay, I could not have been more wrong. Time has been very kind. Russell T. Davies' run on Doctor Who is, in my mind, equal and a little better than Joss Whedon's run on Buffy. Okay, period. And it was Buffy that inspired Russell T. Davies to do Doctor Who in that fashion. So there you go. Silver Spike, you liked the last season with Capaldi. I like Capaldi. I did not. I like seeing the old master come back at the end. But no, I was not happy with that season at all. I liked Bill. I just didn't think she didn't, we needed like 2 or 3 seasons with Bill. And Moffat had lost all sense of trying to write creatively. He was writing in fear. He was writing kind of like an ideologue. You could, the change in his writing came after he got criticized for being kind of a misogynist or something. I don't know where the hell, maybe it was Twitter comments, which I don't pay attention to, and maybe they were right. I don't know, but it got into his head. And his writing completely changed, and he started writing in fear. Because I love seasons 5 and season 6. So, and I know he got criticism for just the content for season 6 for all the timey-wimey stuff. And he also will start a plot point and completely forget about it. Like he left so many plot holes. And I think 2 shows was too much for him. Stick to 1 show. Here we go. Halam wants a Buffy remake. Also, are you going to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch reboot? Probably not. You know what? I don't know. I'll watch the premiere and see what happens. How's that sound? I thought breaking down the makeup of the hand. Oh, I think breaking down the makeup of the hand was a good idea, but poorly executed in the writing. But agree with the new villains. Yeah, for new villains. Yep. Artemis over easy. Yeah. I was really looking forward to the Defenders. I was. Daredevil season 1 and 2 are still great. Okay. And Punisher season 1. Great. Luke Cage is pretty damn good. Iron Fist is meh. I can't handle Capaldi dissing. Belinda, I am not disrespecting Capaldi at all. He was a great doctor given poor writing. That's it. He had great moments. Like the end of season, I like season 9 quite a bit. I did. And I even like the ending of season 9, and a lot of people didn't, but I did. But yeah, I like Capaldi. I just wasn't. Moffat had lost his way by then, and it sucks to say that. And it took me a long time to come to that, because if you watch the reviews, I'm liking most of the episodes, but it's only because I'm thinking it's nostalgia, and that's one of those things. I come back later and I'm like, and you go rewatch them, and it's just like, oh, Jamie Matheson, okay, wrote the best Capaldi episodes. Go back and watch. Okay, he wrote the best Capaldi episodes, especially in season 8 and 9. Okay, but I'm forgetting the name. I think is it Flatline or something like that? The one where the graffiti art attacks you, basically the 2-dimensional monsters. That was a great episode. And then the Orient Express one in space, with the mummy on the Orient Express, which is my favorite Capaldi episode, period. That is the best one. And that was a Jamie Matheson episode. And I think he should have taken over Doctor Who, because he's more fun than Chibnall. He's just more of a fun, whimsical writer. And if he would have taken over, because Mummy on the Orient Express was the best Capaldi episode, in my opinion. It was so freaking good. Yeah, I was begging for him to take over. I'm like, this guy gets it. Like, he is the closest thing to Russell T Davies that I've seen, and he wasn't trying to be too clever. He just wrote fun. Like, the dialogue is the best. He is that guy knows the freaking Doctor. Jamie Matheson. And maybe we'll get him someday. At least have him write some episodes, and then I'll definitely check him out. The first half of Luke Cage with Cottonmouth is great. Less so back half with Diamondback. Could not agree more, Amari. Cottonmouth was a great villain. I could not believe they killed him. My favorite Doctor was Matt Smith, because I'm more of a lighthearted kind of person, plus love Karen Gillan. Amy Pond is the best companion ever. Period. But David Tennant and of course the Fourth Doctor. The Fourth Doctor. And listen, I watch a Doctor Who episode at least twice a week. Something. Going through some Third Doctor. I'm going through a Third Doctor phase right now. So yeah, they totally wrecked Artemis Over Easy says they totally wrecked the second half by killing Cockmouth halfway through. I think that's all they can get the actor for. Will Expanse season under episode? This is a great question, Steve Nyman, and I will ask it. Will the Expanse under Amazon be more episodes? I'm gonna say no at first, because 13 is a good number of episodes, and it's a lot. I think, why be constrained by 1 hour? I would even go with give me 10 episodes, but they're all like 90 minutes each. That would be great. I could see 15 episodes. I could, but 13 seems like a pretty good number. So I'll say it'll probably stay the same, although more is always enough. Okay. No one knows anything about the deal, says Mako. Yep, not yet. Here's okay. I'm going to speculate here. Amy Pond, no. Barbara and Ian were the best companions. I can't argue with that. Okay. Amy Pond was my favorite companion. Followed very closely by Donna Noble. And Sarah Jane Smith. So there's a lot of good. Okay, so Belinda, I have to admit with some guilt that I've watched all the Doctor Who's. I'm just not a fan of the first two, and it's because it's in black and white, and it's my stupid American is stopping me from liking it, but I just can't do it. I've seen them; they're pretty good, but like it really gets going with John Pertwee. I freaking love John Pertwee. He's like he's got the best first episode. He is so fucking funny in it. And they really made the Doctor different. And no, but a Doctor who like does karate and sings in the shower and drives an old car there's something fucking wonderful about that. So just love John Pertwee. And did you see his son dressed up as him? That costume? That was awesome. Amy Pond here. Yeah, she was just cool. So, she was cool. Okay. I liked Rose too. I liked all the David Tennant companions, and I liked blanking on the name, Fifth Doctor companions too. I liked Fifth Doctor a lot. Peter Davidson. What are our thoughts on Gotham season 5? Only had 10 episodes. That's I think they're lucky they're getting that, and I look forward to seeing them. Honestly, I'm over. Like you notice, we don't cover TV shows with 20 something episodes because I'm kind of over that because there's just too much filler involved. And the fact of the matter is, 13 episodes end up only being the ones that count. Now, what does suck is when you have a 13 episode season of a show and then they do filler on you. That sucks. I understand it with the 25 episode thing, but my example, I'm going to give you an example of a show I don't watch. Okay. A show I don't watch is The Flash. The Flash is a good show, not dissing it at all. So, but I know what's going on because I subscribe to Emergency Awesome, which Charlie does a great job. He's got 2 million subs, and he just basically breaks down episodes. But he's really good at explaining them and getting to the point and stuff. Like he's a great YouTuber. So I still watch every one of his videos, even for shows I don't watch. He has been an inspiration to me. He inspired how I do my thumbnails, why I wanted to focus on TV. He also was instrumental in showing like you can give stuff up if you don't like it, and yeah, it's just like he was like my first thing into like YouTubing. Like maybe I'll try this because it's fun. Never gonna get that big, don't care. But I digress. he does Flash recaps, right? So I'm watching the Flash recap, and I know it's probably not like this in the show, but every recap is, who's that girl? Who's the girl from the coffee shop? Who's the mystery girl? Who's that mystery girl? Is that mystery girl their daughter? Who's that mystery girl? Oh, she's a speedster. Oh man, we got another speedster in Flash. For Christ's sake, stop. Okay, I mean, and then they show the reveal, and like I haven't watched an episode of the show, and I'll watch it over the summer, but that's what happens when you have too many goddamn episodes. And plus the CW thing, and I don't mean to sound like a prude because I'm really not, but like Legends of Tomorrow, which is probably my favorite out of the CW shows because they got as Constantine stuff. Like they really focus on like who's fucking who all the time, and it's like and they don't wear super costumes. You can tell the budget's going down a little bit, and Adam never like throws on his costume anymore. Happy to see Constantine like on television. Please support it. He's my favorite character. So yeah, but I honestly can't watch the show anymore. And I've said it before. It's like you know, the Netflix series ruined it for me a little bit. Expanse usually starts shooting in July. Bob Monroe says it will probably be in July. So if they start shooting in July, Belinda, I would like to ask you this question. Do you think they will be at Comic-Con this year? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I really think they should be. You know, I just made that argument, like being a big at Comic-Con doesn't really matter, but I think it would matter to have them there and under the Amazon banner, and just do what they did last year, is like do a trailer of the last 3 episodes, but Amazon it up a little bit, you know? Now remember, Gary, CW shows are all about the feelings, says Silver Spike, in hallways. That's what our calendar should be. You know, I think somebody mentioned that last one is oh, really? Belinda, thank you. That is exciting news. You heard it here first. Belinda, Jet City Girl 1 in there, who was awesome, by the way. It says yes, they will be at San Diego Comic-Con. Expanse will be at San Diego Comic-Con. Okay, so we will be there. We being me and Dennis will wait in the line. I will camp out. I will do the stupid camp out over thing. Yeah, Feisty's going to be there too. I will camp out in that line. I will effing be in that, and I will live stream that shit. And if they kick us out, I've been to 40 something cons or 40 cons. If they kick me out, okay. Has it been 40? Maybe it's like 38. Let me count. Hang on. It's like 38. I've been to a lot of cons. I grew up in San Diego, so my first con was when it was at the El Cortez Hotel, and it was like just in a big room, and people were smoking inside. That is so awesome. Well, at Feisty, the thing, you know, the funny thing is, I talked about this on Friday with, and Belinda might know this. You might know this, Feisty. You probably do too. Is the people who plan Comic Con, like Comic Con's this huge event that's planned by like 20 people. Actually, it's planned by like 10 people, and then they have assistants. Yeah, it's not a big, you know, they got a third company ticket agency to handle tickets because that got too much for them. But it's still, you know, Justin and Jeremy and same guys doing it. Yeah, it's a small operation. So when they set up the entertainment, that stuff, a lot of that stuff is last minute. Now they might ping them early and say, hey, you know, for Hall H stuff, you got to plan out. But for like the side rooms and stuff, they up until the week of, they can be getting guests. So, and people pull out in the last minute too, all the time. And Marvel's not really going to be there, you know, as far as Hall H stuff. I don't know if you guys know this, but like there was a decade Marvel didn't go to the San Diego Comic-Con. 10 years they didn't go, and nobody missed them. I mean, they were there and everything else, but the actual Marvel comic book company did not have a booth for 10 years in a row at San Diego, and it did fine. It did fine. NBC canceled Constantine, which was excellent, and then brought Midnight Texas, a ripoff. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, David Latham. Thinking the same goddamn thing. And Midnight Texas had the biggest promotion right in front of the Hilton there at Comic-Con. They had a whole thing you can walk through, and yep. And I didn't watch it for that very reason. Oh, I got a super chat. Got a super chat. I missed. Okay, no, I got that one. The bribery one from Dakota. Anthony Sewell, sorry, $5 in Canadian. Is it Canadian $5? Did I get that right? It's a CA. I don't know what CA. I'm going to assume it's Canadian. Thank you so much for the super chat. If you got a question, ask away. I really appreciate it. It's still weird getting those. Okay. It is. Matt Ryan is Constantine. Ed Brewer, you are correct. Nobody else can play him. I haven't seen the animated thing. I'll probably do a recap on the animated thing. It looked good. Has anybody seen it? What'd you think? iZombie is the best CW TV show, but I hear Black Lightning is really good, says Pan Farm Girl. What I've seen of Black Lightning, it is it reminds me of Arrow season 1 and 2. So it's a cut above all the other superhero shows, what I've seen of it. iZombie is the best. I agree with you. Melissa, my wife, would totally agree with you. It's her favorite show on the air right now. Dennis would probably agree with you. And Dennis has even said that they've handled, zombies better in that show than Walking Dead. And Dennis used to be the biggest Walking Dead fan. It's funny is Dennis and I used to kind of friendly argue, like, what's better, Game of Thrones or Walking Dead, just to be a dorks, right? And of course, Game of Thrones was better, but we're both at the same place now. We're like really unhappy with the last seasons of our show. And I hate to say that, man. I even went back and rewatched it. So I'm a little softer on it now, but Game of Thrones season 7 really doesn't hold. I mean, you watch, I know it'd be ridiculous to do this, but watch season 4 to season 7 and it's a different show. It is Tyrion is a different, it's like they have forgotten what to do with fucking Tyrion. It's turned into spectacle now, and that's not what it is. That's so not what Game of Thrones is. Game of Thrones has battles, and for those of you who are like, we're waiting for the battles, and they've done great battles on the show, but there's no real battles in the books. There's allusions to battles, or there is a couple of big ones he does, but these are 5,000 page books, and there's like 2 or 3 battles, and they talk about other ones. No, this is about the game. It's all about the game, and I hate to use a Ryan Johnson. It's about subverting expectations, but doing it right. You can subvert expectations, but still deliver something good. Not just simply subvert them to subvert them, Ryan Johnson. Feisty super chats. I almost missed that. Shut up and take my money. This is calendar money. Make it happen. Okay, we'll make the calendar happen. I don't know why you guys want a calendar. Like, again, I like you. I'll hire some models, and they'll just say it's us. Yes, hallways. I can't wait for Comic-Con. So Comic-Con's like 8 weeks away. VidCon is coming up. I have no idea what I'm going to do there. I'm going alone. And another super chat from Penn Farm Girl. You guys. Calendar. Okay. We'll do it. I listen. See, unlike Kathleen Kennedy, I listen. I don't understand all the times, but I listen. Has Legends gotten a lot better? Again, the CW shows is stuff I watch over the summer. I might not be going outside a lot this summer though, with all the shit I gotta watch. NBC, already said that one. Let's go down here. It won't be a nude calendar. It will be a feelings in hallways, says Viking bitch. Yes. So we just cosplay and be like with serious looks on our faces in hallways, just going, or something like that. But I do like the idea of Dennis in coconut, bathing in coconut juice, going, yeah, we need that one. That needs to happen. Uh, I want Dennis stripped to his waist holding Tyrese. What's that? I'm sorry, I'm not Dennis. We'll have him just a loincloth. Okay, we'll do with that. No fig leaf superhero costume, says Pen Farm Girl. Oh my god, I'm sorry, people. Dennis is getting pimped. Yeah, Dennis is the pimp. YouTube vlog life. Dennis is the pimp. Am I blurry? I am blurry. Hang on, I moved. Thanks for letting me know. Let's get unblurry there. That should help. Here, if I just go closer. There, it's unblurry. Thanks for letting me know. I stopped looking at how's the quality of the stream been, because it's said it's been like in and out. I have to look. Yeah, it says it's bad now. How's the quality of the stream? Is it okay? Let me look at my phone. Sorry, folks, if you're listening at home. I don't know if I trust YouTube here. There we go. Looks fine on my phone. My hair got messy. Okay, I'll stop mumbling now. Hey, let's streaming okay? Thank you, Bad Bunny. Yeah, it says bad for right now, but I guess it's okay. It's bad, good, bad. Oh, I got to scroll down. Okay, I get it now. All right, let's go to. Let's have a little fun here with the Saturn Awards and talk some shit. And then we got a Susan article we got to get to too, which is like right in the wheelhouse. We're gonna do some alien stuff with Tom DeLonge, the guitarist of Blink-182, is making it his personal mission to hunt for UFOs. Okay, Saturn Award nominations, guys. I'm going to share this with everybody. I can't see the chat momentarily, but I will get to you. Hang on. So here they are. And yeah, I know it's old news, but they're coming up to June 18th. And Susan brought this up to me. And I mean, she knows how to trigger me. She really knows how to do it. So, okay. So, best comic book motion picture release. We got Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, Logan, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, and Wonder Woman. Yes, I already heard you feisty. Logan should win best picture. While I agree with you, Black Panther will win, and that's fine. It was a good movie. Best science fiction film release was Alien Covenant, Blade Runner 2049, Live Star Wars The Last Jedi, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, War for the Planet of the Apes. You guys can argue amongst yourselves. Out of all that list right there, I would probably go with the one nobody would pick, and that is Valerian. Yes, you heard me right. Valerian. Best fantasy film release, Beauty and the Beast, Downsizing, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Kong, Skull Island, Paddington 2, and The Shape of Water. I like Jumanji, guys. I thought it was a good movie. It had Karen Gillan in it. The Shape of Water was pretty good. That's what's going to win. And Guillermo del Toro is fucking awesome. Okay, he is. Awesome man, awesome director. Best horror film, 47 Meters Down, Annabelle Creation, Better Watch Out, Get Out, It, and Mother. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like for a guy who's like over Stephen King. Everybody in the chat was telling me to watch it, and I watched it, and holy shit, that was good. That was a damn good movie. Best action adventure film, Baby Driver, which I have not seen yet. Dunkirk, haven't seen it yet. The Fate of the Furious, The Greatest Showman. Wait, based action adventure film, The Greatest Showman. Okay. Hostels, Kingsman, The Golden Circle. I got to see Baby Driver. I heard a lot of good things about that. I like Kingsman. I thought it was good. Best thriller film release, Brawl in Cell Block 99. Hell yeah. Vince Vaughn. Oh my God. Yeah. The Murder on the Orient Express. That was a pretty good movie. The Post, did not seen it. Suburbicon. did not see it. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, did not see it. And Wind River, never heard of it. So we're going to go down to film. I'm going to jump down to TV. Okay. You guys can all check out the Saturn Awards, Chadwick Boseman. I do want to get to the best supporting actress. This is funny. Okay. You guys might not think it's funny. I actually think it's funny. Okay. And Carrie Fisher would think this is funny. Carrie Fisher herself, if she was alive today, would go, okay, thanks for giving me a death award. Because best supporting actress in a film, Carrie Fisher in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Oh, okay. I love Carrie Fisher. Anna de Armas in Blade Runner 2049. She was actually pretty damn good in that movie. Danaya, I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up that name, so I won't say it, in Black Panther. All of the women actors in Black Panther kind of fucking were awesome. Oh my God. Ethan Van Sciver is going to love this. Kelly Marie Tran for Star Wars The Last Jedi. That's funny. Rose Tico. Tessa Thompson for Thor Ragnarok. I like Tessa Thompson. She's in Westworld. And we still got to talk about Westworld. It's in the title. But that's going to be spoiler territory. So I'm going to wait kind of till the end. Okay. So I'll give you guys a time to jump out if you want to jump out. But we have got to talk about some stuff because the last episode was great and I'm totally confused. All right, so let's go down to TV real quick. And again, I can't see the chat, so I'm sorry, but I'll catch up to it. Okay, so best superhero television series. And I'm going, wait a minute. Like, didn't The Punisher come out? And fucking Jessica Jones and, Defenders and all that shit? Okay, so they separate it for some reason. So best superhero TV series is Arrow, Blacklight. It's basically the CW. I mean, other than, okay, Gotham and Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Every single, except for Black Lightning, in 2 years' time, all of these shows will be gone. Black Lightning will still be around. It'll be the last one standing, and maybe the Flash, but everybody else, Marvel Agents S.H.I.E.L.D's done next year. Gotham's done next year. I guarantee you, Legends ratings are going down. Supergirl's done. Arrow is done. One more season at most for them. Interesting. And it's interesting that they separated them from the Netflix series, the best science fiction television series. Okay, here's the important one. The 100. I haven't seen it. My wife loves it. Colony. Haven't seen it. My wife loves it. Doctor Who, while I love seeing it there, does not deserve to be there after last season. Especially, like Capaldi deserves to be nominated. Absolutely. But come on. The Expanse. Yes, finally we get an Expanse. The Orville totally belongs there. Salvation, know nothing about it. The X-Files does not belong there. No. It was a decent season, but maybe it's just because they don't have anybody else to. I don't know. There was one episode that I would put in from last season. I would put in my top 5 X-Files episodes of all time. But that does not a season make. Best fantasy. Okay, so mind you, that's the only Expanse nomination at the Saturn Awards. And wait, it gets better. So best fantasy TV, we see American Gods, Game of Thrones, The Good Place, Nightfall, The Librarians, The Magicians, and Outlander. Okay, Outlander, great show. Ronald D. Moore, nothing bad to say about the man. Magicians, Librarians, people love that show, and it's pretty cool. Nightfall, I don't know anything about it. The Good Place, good show. Game of Thrones, great show. American Gods, great show. I would actually give it to American Gods, season 1. I would. Horror show, I don't. Okay, so we got American Horror Story, Cult, did not see it. Ash vs. Evil Dead, fuck yeah. Fear the Walking Dead, it's gotten better. Preacher, I love. The Strain, don't know. Teen Wolf, yeah, I mean, like, my wife loves that. And The Walking Dead, it's The Walking Dead. And the best thriller television, The Alienist, Fargo. Let's just give it to Fargo for Noah Hawley. Riverdale, what? Best presentation on television, Doctor Who, Twice Upon a Time. Yeah, maybe. But I want to here we get some Star Trek Discovery. Okay. Best actor on a television series, John Bernthal, The Punisher. So all of a sudden it's a television series. It's not new media, it's a television series. Okay. So you're being inconsistent, Saturn Award. John Bernthal's The Punisher, Bruce Campbell, Ash versus Evil Dead, and Jason Isaacs for Star Trek Discovery. All right, we got a Star Trek Discovery. Um, Best Actress, Sonequa Martin Green for Star Trek Discovery. But I'm not seeing. Okay, so Best Actor, I don't see anybody from The Expanse on that. I don't. That's really weird. You know what? And I don't see any Legion nominations at all, and I don't see any Westworld nomination. Now, maybe Westworld. I'll give them this on Westworld. Westworld took a year and a half off, so maybe they didn't qualify. But that's probably the only caveat. Okay, so we're in the fuck's Legion. There's nothing here on Legion. Zero, nada, bupkiss. Are you fucking kidding me? But Riverdale gets nominated for something. All right, so here again, Doug Jones. Okay, Doug Jones for Star Trek Discovery. This is the one I will say yes. Doug Jones should win all the awards because we love Doug Jones. And that's the only thing that really kind of bums me out about kind of shitting on Star Trek Discovery is I fucking love Doug Jones. I don't like saying anything. He's really good in this show. He is the best thing in this show by far. All right. So you guys get my point. Like Star Trek Discovery has more nominations for the Saturn Awards than The Expanse. And here we go. Michelle Yeoh again, best guest starring performance in a television series. Yeah, you're crazy. Crazy. Best animated television series. Archer. Oh boy. Family Guy. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty will probably win. I don't understand. I know a lot of people like that show though. Best new media television series. So it's a television series, but it's not a television series. Okay. So we got Alter Carbon, Black Mirror, The Handmaid's Tale, Mindhunter, Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams, Star Trek Discovery, Stranger Things. And they separated the superhero shows in new media. I just okay, whatever. Alter Carbon. I got to give it to Alter Carbon. I know some people would argue The Handmaid's Tale. I have not seen that, so I don't know. Stranger Things season 2 was pretty good, but Alter Carbon was the shit. Yes, it had kind of a weird ending, but I loved it. I love the aesthetics of that show. And best new media superhero series, which is Future Man, Marvel's The Defenders, Marvel's Iron Fist, Marvel's Runaways, Marvel's The Punisher, The Tick. That's actually tough. It's a tie for me between The Punisher and The Tick. Yeah, and then we finally get to a Westworld nomination, which was here. I gotta do a search. I'm sorry. Gotta do a search. Close that out. Command F. And where was the Westworld? There it is, right there. So best DVD Blu-ray television series release. That's it for Westworld. So, but yeah, but I didn't think about that earlier. Like that might have not happened because it didn't technically come out this year. So okay, chat. I can see you again. I'm sorry. I'm back. Goodbye, Tark. I'm sorry I didn't see you say goodbye. I didn't see anything. I had to spurg out on the Saturn Awards a little bit here. And we've been running a long time, so we gotta wrap this up. So we're gonna talk about this in Westworld real quick. Yes, STD really bribed the Saturn Awards. Oh man, I don't know about that, David Latham. If not reviewed by Nerdrotic channel, then it sucks. It's best. I mean, we try not to like with movies. We're gonna give bad reviews on TV shows. I'm really gonna try my best to just not talk about stuff I like because I'd rather talk about stuff I like. But Star Trek Discovery kind of turned into its own thing, and I gotta kind of stick with it. I really thought it would like my views would kill the channel. I was worried about that. I can talk about that now. I was like, I talked to John. I'm like, man, we're probably gonna lose subs tonight because I'm gonna crap on this, and we didn't, which was kind of weird. And just you guys reacting to this. Oh, you're talking about Valerian, yeah. I have guys, I love the comics so much. I do. So just seeing anything from it, and it really was like true to the comic, like really, really true to the comic. Or the I don't know, you didn't call it a comic, it's a French, magazine, but it's Mobius. The art and the color are just fucking beautiful. It's everything I love. Here, I got it. I got one within reaching. Ugh, there, just knocked down an action figure. These are available on Amazon now. There's hardcovers. These are like 17 bucks. No, these are only, yeah, it's 19 bucks, but you can get the soft cover ones that are like, I could not recommend these more. And they're cheap. So you can get the Valerian stuff. And these are like, I think you can get them for $6, like $6 or $7, free shipping. And it's like, I'll just open a page. It's freaking beautiful art. Okay. It's just wonderful. And I don't know, there's something about 70s, 80s art that I just dig. I love the four color palette, and yeah, doesn't get better than that. Okay. So Valerian, yeah. I like the movie. I did. It did have pacing issues, though. I can understand why people didn't like it. I get it. So the Expanse really whatever. I mean, it'll win like a Hugo, right? I mean, it's won a Hugo before. Yeah, I love the X-Files, but like I want to see like a new creator take a crack at it. Like Chris Carter, just stick with the executive producing. Whoever wrote Mr. Chuckleteeth episode, The Familiar. Okay, if you guys have to watch, don't watch watch The Familiar from last season. That is a great episode. Whoever wrote that episode should take over the X-Files because they understand it. They understand like how to modernize something, but stay true to the source material. A lot like what Ash versus Evil Dead, the first two seasons, what Cobra Kai did in season 1. If you want to go back there, you got to bring someone now with you. Okay. Legion was robbed, right? Viking bitch. I mean, it didn't even get nominated for best superhero show. And I can't what? Even when they separated the categories out, it didn't get nominated for best superhero show. And all the CW shows did. And if you took all of the CW shows and Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham and combined all their scripts together, they would make 1/10 of a Legion script. Westworld missed the deadline for any awards. Yeah, it must have. I thought about that halfway through. I'm like, wait a minute. It took a year and a half. I bet you, yeah, because I can't see them ignoring Westworld. I mean, I am of the mind that I don't think Westworld will get as big as Game of Thrones, but it's going to be the heir apparent. Like it's going to be the go-to show. It'll be the one everybody's talking about if it maintains its quality. I'm seeing a lot of similarities with season 2 than season 1 of Game of Thrones. A lot of people were upset with season 2 of Game of Thrones. I was not one of them. Thought it was wonderful. But Game of Thrones had to shed the Ned people, right? Who were just really pissed Ned got killed. And yeah, spoilers. Ned loses his head. And yeah, so they went through a little correction and then it took off. I think, it's going to be interesting because so much shit's going down in Westworld right now. It's like, where do you go? I was asking us for Krypton. I know it's a different show, but it's like, if you blow your wad all at once, like, where do you go? I mean, the show's called Westworld, but Westworld essentially is destroyed right now and irrevocably destroyed, like done. I have a feeling we're going to get a hard reset. Or they're just going to call it Westworld and we're going to go into the real world and it'll be like full on infiltration. I'm not sure. Dolores won big last night. She won big. She got everything she needed. But there's 3 episodes left, which sounds like I don't know. We love Doug Jones. Yes, feisty. We love Doug Jones. Librarians is just a bad imitation of Warehouse 13. Kinda, but I think Librarians, yeah, it's more of a shtick thing, but people like the characters in Librarians. I don't think it's about the actual formula. Um, a lot of people have requested that we cover it. Uh, it was just too late. I can't watch Rick and Morty at all. Belching and barfing is too off-putting. Me too. Me too, Viking bitch. It kind of looks like yeah, it looks like Dave what's his name? Dave Harmon or something like that. It looks a little autobiographical to me, like he's like just really kind of going off the deep end. He's a crazy dude. I like the first season of Handmaid's Tale, but I'm not liking the second season, says Viking bitch. Interesting. Goodbye from Australia. The stream is good for weight loss. I keep ruining oh, Preaky. I'm having I keep ruining breaky, which is breakfast. Brecky? Is that breakfast, Tarka? uh I couldn't get through 10 minutes of Rick and Morty. Yeah. I tried the whole first season, Feisty, and I'm like, not for me. I'm not keen on Rick and Morty either, sadly. Yeah, I think it's just for it's the Adult Swim crowd, but I mean, like, we're part of the Adult Swim crowd. I mean, we all like Venture Brothers, right? We do. But Venture Brothers is uh, it's funnier. It's I don't want to say smarter. It's not more linear. I don't know it's just better. I just like it. I think it's better. No, they still have not showed us Future World. That's the story. No, they still have not shown us Future World, and that's the story somewhere. So most likely, most of season 3 of Westworld will deal with Future World and the hosts out there in the real world. Yep, says Philip A. Demick. Yeah, and it'll just be called Westworld in name only, and it's gonna be like a full on infiltration. Like Dolores is going to get out there in the real world with the backups, and we're going to start seeing people get replaced, and that might be the real story. And that's going to be interesting. What happens with the character William? Predictions out there. Because okay, we're going to get in spoiler territory with Westworld right now, a little bit, just from last episode, and we're speculating on what's going to happen. So if you're all caught up, we're good. Yes, Venture Brothers season 8 this summer. Okay, so William gets shot up pretty fucking good last episode, like in the gut, in the arms, in the legs. There is a theory out there that he is possibly a human host. I finished the episode thinking no, I thought he was human, but then I'm thinking maybe he is. I'm thinking this is just based on nothing. I think they're going to put him into a young William body, maybe. I don't know if they can keep Ed Harris this long. I hope they do. I prefer William as Ed Harris, although I like Jimmy Simpson too. I do. But I think it's going to turn into what it said it's going to be. It's two factions. There's going to be the good robots and the bad robots, and it's really not going to be about humans at all. Like some humans will join up with who knows, both sides. So it's a 5-year plan. So we're only getting 5 seasons of Westworld, and that's it. So we're in season 2, but man, they answered a ton of questions last night. Like they basically told you, what Delos' project, the big mystery that was going through all of season 1, they dropped it. And last night felt like a finale. It felt like a finale. Even we have a commenter come on who said, last night's episode was like episode 9 of Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones finales usually happened at the second of last episode for their 10 episode seasons. And then they do a wrap up, kind of an epilogue episode for season 10. See, this was a finale last night. I mean, they could have ended it right there and it would have been fine. Like really, they super bad cliffhangers, but yeah, it brought in way more questions. So we got this scene where Maeve gets her justice with William, like, and I didn't feel good about it. I was like, I like William now. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's oh yeah. Bad Bunny says a sim within a sim. The other valley is euthism or the next evolution or euthanasia. I think the sim within the sim thing is kind of what's happening. I think, you know, so they showed in the last two episodes, Bernard uh, going into the cradle, and the cradle is just a simulation of Sweetwater, where all of our characters are backed up, right? And Ford is in there alive. Ford escapes the cradle by going into Bernard's head, so now he's Fornarnold. So now he's three people. Um, in that transition, I think they also backed up the cradle, or the cradle it was an Abernathy, and that Dolores has it. But remember, that's wow, I'm out of focus again. Sorry. Remember that is only 1/3 of their IP. Okay, that was only 1/3 of their IP. And let's get this a little closer. There we go. Here, I'm gonna blank out for a second. There we go. Okay, so remember when they said the cradle was blown up, they went, well, we lost 1/3 of our IP. So there's 2/3 of it out there. So I'm not sure really, what's going on with that entirely, but I don't think it's all gone. I think it's three parts of something. Okay, three parts of a sim, but they could be within a sim. That's the whole thing is, and how do you guys feel about that? What if it turns out kind of matrixy and we're a simulation within a simulation? In the first season, Dennis and I had a theory that this was the last of humanity, and it's just consciousness downloaded and put into a simulation to keep these things alive, quote unquote. And we're going to back out of the very last episode. We're going to see some solar panels and some buildings in the middle of a wasteland, right? And that's what humanity is. It's basically just backups. It's drives being cooled by either nuclear energy or solar energy, and everybody's dead. And Ford might have been the last guy alive or something like that. Because right now, Ford just looks like an evil bastard. After last night, he's got some issues. He's got some serious issues, and he does not like the human race at all and wants them all dead, like women, children, everybody dead, and wants them replaced with his robots. Now, it's good to be behind your creation and really into it. Yeah, I've got a theory. Pen Farm Girl. So I would not like that if that's what it is. If it's sim within a sim. Now, if they do it to kind of trick us part of the way through, I want my characters to be real. So I'd be okay with kind of like what they set up in Blade Runner 2049, which would have been a much more interesting story, which is the replicant revolution. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see the robots versus the humans, but I don't want it being as simple as robots good, humans bad. All right. That's kind of the problem I had with the Planet of the Apes movies a little bit, is apes good, humans bad. I know it was a little more than that, but so I like the fact that we've got Maeve and Dolores. And there's a lot of Christian references to the point where we saw Abernathy like staked to a table, like Jesus of the cross and all that stuff. So pay attention to a lot of that. A lot of God and the devil. The Delos episode was freaking great. And where he was talking about the devil looked up at God, and but it wasn't really God, it was just his reflection, and he was laughing and stuff. I thought that was a great line. The answers in episode 7 seem to suggest that some or more some of the more convoluted and involved theories are not happening. The answers are less convoluted a little bit. I Ion Trone. Yes, I don't think they're going to go sim with a sim. I think it's going to be straight up like robots versus humans. And but I think there is some twists, like what they really play with now. So they've set this thing up. It's all about whose perspective you're in and what perspective you're in, what time. So they're playing with that. I don't think they're going to straight up screw with you on reality wise, but there was some Dolores and working out the fidelity thing with Bernardold. And the question was asked of us last night, was that a sim or was that at Sweetwater? And I couldn't answer it. I assumed it was a sim, which means they could do that for years and years and years. Technically, I mean, they could just do them over and over again. The time would act differently there. Well, Ford is birthing what he sees as mankind's next step into evolution. Silver Spike, yes. But it's not, because it's not happening naturally. It's being forced. And Ford also said that free will was a mistake. There has to be something more to Ford. It's interesting. But that's how he sees it. You're right, Silver Spike. You're right. Season 2 is awesome, but I prefer season 1. I like watching the park work as intended, says Martin Tirado. Yeah, that is interesting. I was surprised to see the park starting to burn down as early as season 1. But they have a plan. I like seeing the park work as it is too, and I thought you could have gotten a little more out of it. But I think I'm not sure we've seen the last of the park. I'm not sure. The guests paid us to use the park, so some humans must still exist somewhere. Yeah, rough girl. Yeah, it was just a crazy, stupid theory. Unless they're part of a sim or unless they're hosts, and that's one of the oldest theories of everybody's a host. I think that it was all about getting the guest data, and it was all about getting the guest data to make them live forever. That was the big reveal. This wasn't about hosts or anything. They were just tools. And Arnold got too attached to him. Arnold went a little nuts after his son died. And I asked it last night, is like, why wouldn't Arnold, and Arnold was clearly more brilliant than Ford. And why wouldn't Arnold try to bring his son back? I know it's a horrible thing and it always ends badly, but that would be an interesting part of the story. So yeah, we're going to get some more flashback stuff to fill in some more, because we still need to learn a lot more about William too. Nerdrotic, it's forced and it's under Ford's control, of course. He's power mad after all. He is. He's just straight up bad guy. But it was interesting how they wrote them in the first season, because you almost felt sorry for him. You felt sorry for this guy being, taken out basically by his corporate overlords. But they probably should have taken him out a little sooner. And he did kill Teresa. Poor Teresa. Gary, walk us through the theory of Arnold carrying the backups, says Grady Broyles. The reason I think I think Abernathy is probably the one with the backups, but I'm not sure what backups. I think what Abernathy has in his head is all the data from the guests. That's what I think. I think the backups for the cradle went into sorry, my phone's ringing. Went into Bernardold when Ford did. I don't know why I think that. I just think, well, Ford had to exist. Ford existed only in the cradle. The cradle got destroyed, but Ford was still there. So either just Ford exists in Arnold, or he took the backups with him, or the backups could be in Abernathy. I think they have backups of backups, though. I don't think they would just leave one set of backups there in the cradle. And they did mention in the first episode this season that they've lost 1/3 of their IP, not all of it. So that's where I could be wrong on that one. I've watched it twice since then, and it's not clear. But there is Grady, some girl Grady. She was looking at towards the end when the firefight was happening. She was looking out at her little iPad, and the CPU was like clogging. And the theory was that was possibly Ford moving into And I'm talking about the program running from the cradle, and then all of a sudden the program works itself out. And that's when they get ambushed and everybody dies. I thought that was the point where the backups come in, they got copied, but that's also when Ford went into Bernardold. So that could have been that too. It's not clear. It's not clear. There was a really bad joke, but it made me laugh on Reddit where it showed a little, gif of I thought this was the most closed-minded thing about the show, and then they show Arnold's head getting closed up again. I'm like, that was funny. I saw what you did there. Yeah, you're right, Silver Spike, and it's been great. Silver Spike says the power interplay has been flipped on its head this season. Yeah, and I think that's what's got some people kind of, wait a minute, they're different bad guys now and stuff. And I think that will be the thing of this show. And Dennis and I were talking about, well, now we can alter carbon, we can swap bodies, like the host can swap bodies. You can put Teddy in a Dolores, and what they did to Teddy is really interesting. I'm loving Teddy's character now. And it's funny because we've had the Man in Black be the Man in Black, and I'm talking about representing the Yul Brynner character from the first movie. So we've had William represent the Man in Black. Now we have Dolores being the Man in Black, and now halfway through the season, Teddy has become the Man in Black. And I think Teddy, because I think Dolores is going to have a character arc where she's going to come back around. I think Dolores is going to like be a bad guy, but like maybe the Dolores part of her personality will start taking over a little bit, because there is still like a remnant of kindness in her. But I think Teddy, who they made a point in season 1, is the one who got killed the most. Teddy's the one who got killed the most. He got killed every single time. Teddy was a bullet bag. That's what he was. Just a bag of blood to get shot up. So he's going to be the most pissed off, and he had the best nature. So they spent a season and a half like making this nice guy. It would really be crazy if they made Teddy like, and maybe Dolores, putting down his empathy. I think that might come back to bite her in the ass. Honestly, I'm completely lost. I have no idea what's happening, but I hope the end of the season it will make sense, says Mako. Yep, it should. Hale said fail safe of a fail safe or something like that. I think she was, Dennis and I were thinking she was lying to Stubbs. Cause he's like, what's in there? And he like had the gun to Abernathy's head. He's all, I want a pay raise. Tell me what's in there. And she's all, it's a fail safe in case something goes down. And he goes, you mean like what's happening right now? And it's a key. So it's and they talked about that a lot, it being a key to something in the Valley Beyond. And I'm really interested to see what that is. It's probably some sort of facility, because we've seen a map of it with Emily/Grace, who is William's daughter, who may or may not be a host, or William may or may not be a host. And we did not see Grace this episode. Silver Spike, I kind of do. It's either a facility or what you just said. Silver Spike says, Nerdrotic, do you think the Valley Beyond is just another name for the outside world? It could be. It really could be. Legion makes more sense than Westworld, and that is saying something, Mako. Pen Farm Girl, that's funny. It says Teddy needed to man up. Silver Spike said Teddy damn scary now. Yes, he is. Absolutely. Dennis must be on the phone worried about you pimping his $5 calendar. Actually, it was my mom. I hung up on her. It's like, Mom, I'm live streaming. One of the iPads showed Bernard as heavily fragmented. Ford could be hiding in there. I think he is. Poor Teddy. He's straight Blackwater with hand-on-hand training, right? In his little security guard outfits. But okay, so somebody said, "Hey, we saw the Man in Black floating in the river in episode 1." So I went back and looked, and there's a lot of bodies there, and there's one like off in the distance, up on the beach, that could possibly be him. I don't think it is. Um, but Teddy, you couldn't really tell what Teddy was wearing when they had Teddy floating in the river, dead, or in the flooded valley, dead. It did not look like he was wearing his security guard outfit though, and there might be multiple Teddys. Uh, Grady Burrell said Abernathy will bring her back. Well, I don't know. He got his head cut open, and she took out his brain. I'm terrified to tell you now. Charlotte is a spy for another coup, says TK420. So an opposing company, possibly, or there could be opposing forces on the board. Oh my God, they killed Teddy! You bastards! Rough Girl says Teddy's kind of turning me on now. You like the bad boys, don't you? Yes. It'll come first circle. First circle. It'll come full circle to her relationship with her dad being in the end all that matters. Yeah, yeah. I mean, she could use the memory of him. Yes, to like be a tether to come back to, Do you really want to be like what you perceive the humans are? I mean, maybe the humans in the future are just like horrible people, but if it's just a few rich dickheads going to a park and being dickheads, I don't know how you can judge the entire human race on that. That seems a little extreme. Uh, Quick search on cheap cameras. Logitech. You want to get the Brio. Get the one I have. Bad Bunny. The C9 926 Pro Red Streamer Cam. Oh, I thought that was feisty. It's Bad Bunny. Thanks for searching. I have that other one. This is for Macs. There's not a lot of options. There's not a lot of options. It's not that big a deal. All I have to do is unplug this one and plug it into my PC, and the only thing the reason I have this PC is to update this camera. That's it. And it's weird. The settings will stick in this camera from the PC over to the Mac, so it's fine. It works out. Dennis doesn't care what I say, Viking bitch. He doesn't. Dennis doesn't care. Dennis don't give a shit. Oh, Dennis is great. Oh, and I talked shit to his face. So, is there a possibility this park is set in Japan? Still confused on where the Fuji Island thing. It's an island in Chinese waters, we're assuming, because from the first episode, there was there was an Asian person in fatigues signing an NDA to Delos. I'm so excited for the Ghost Nation, the Lakota episode on Sunday. So decided to see their backstory and thinking maybe they don't have programming. Maybe they're programmed differently for sure. But I think there's also something to the original few hosts. We did lose one. We lost Angela. Yep. It's about what makes us really human, our relationships. Yep. And even what Bernardold said in that, what makes what I forgot, like what's real is when you lose something that's of value, like a son. Ghost Nation answers very important to the internal consistency of the show. Ion Trunk could not agree more. See, he's always listening. Oh, I know you talk shit about me. It goes both ways. It does. It does. I just don't. It's he's like a little brother. Damn, $5. Yes, you have to get into a tub naked, full of coconut juice, and go. Bye, Artemis. We're gonna be thanks for the good chats, peeps. See you tomorrow night for Legion. Yes, we're gonna be wrapping it up here pretty soon. What's up, D? Hard at work, I see. But they want a certain type of porn, Dennis. It's coconut milk porn. It's like tentacle porn, but more coconutty. So just another Saturday night then? Yes, basically. It's a day that ends in Y. The way cute girls like pictures on Instagram and make a fan cast of them. Oh, bye, Dennis. We want perverted things, says Mako. Can we all just express a little happiness about season 3? Woohoo! Hell yeah, Grady. That was I kind of slipped on that one. I wanted to do a video just on that, but it kind of happened and slipped by me. So I do a boring calendar, James. I really would. Old school porn is so 90s, says Mako. It is. It really is. Do millennials even like porn? I don't think they do. Makes them feel too uncomfortable. We are perverted things, says Viking bitch. Oh, you perverted things. Make that a David Bowie cover right there. Hawaiian coconuts. In November, Gary has a pilgrim and Dennis with a turkey. Mark. I won't finish that. I'm a millennial. I like porn. There you go. Feisty fan has spoken. Express super happiness for season 4 of The Expanse, says Bed Bunny. Hell yeah. We're getting a season 3 of Westworld. They announced that like before season 2 even came out. So we got at least one more year of this stuff. God, I hope American Gods is still good. Oh, yeah, dude, we got to do that. Let's do that before we go. The first Watchmen pictures came up. Oh, there's a couple things I still got to do. Damn, I'm getting hungry too. Where did it go? There it is. That's not where I wanted to go. Sorry for the silence there. Talk amongst yourselves. We're going to look at the Watchmen pictures, which tell you absolutely nothing, but it's like I have it in the title, so I got to do it. I got to do it. Oh, they're freaking gone now? What? Oh, maybe it's down more. There it is. Here it comes. It's like a Twitter link or something. And it has to be translated. Yes, translate it. Here we go. I'm sure you guys all saw this because you all see stuff before I do. So we already have our first images of the set of The Watchmen filming facilitated by Hollywood Pipeline. In them, we can see Don Johnson, the police uniform, and we confirm that the series will move away from the version of the comics. So why fucking call it Watchmen then? Okay. Okay. All right. I'm really underwhelmed by that. I don't know how you guys, that's a serious meh. It's a nice orange ladder there in the background now. Those are very handy to have. All right. That bored me to almost death. Probably lost 10 viewers on that one. Sorry. Yeah, I was so excited about the show, even with Damon Lindelof. Then he did his description of it. So he's like, yeah. So, want to do this Watchmen show, but it's not going to be about the Watchmen. It's not going to have any of the Watchmen in it, but it's going to be in the same realm as the Watchmen, but it's not going to be about the Watchmen. It's not going to be even in their universe. So what the fuck are you doing it for? Yeah. Okay, so we got American Gods casting. Here's some good news. Here's some good news. We'll get to that right there. Good old superhero hype. I've been going to this when this site started out as Spider-Man hype. And it was about hyping up the Raimi Spider-Man movies, and it's still around. It got bought out by some big company, but I still go there. American Gods Season 2 adds 3 key cast members. While the sophomore season of the Starz adaptation of American Gods might have been lost 2 stars and original showrunners, it just added 3 new cast members for key guest and recurring roles. Dean Winters, John Wick, Devery Jacobs, Mohawk Girls, and Kayan Kim, Shameless, have been cast as Mr. Town, Sam Blackcrow. Oh, that's cool. I like Sam Blackcrow. And New Media. With Kim taking over the role from Gillian Anderson's departure from a series last year. Miss or Mrs. Kim, those are some big shoes to fill. Like, it'll be funny if they turn New Media into this. They'll probably make it into, like, you know, an annoying millennial, but as opposed to a not annoying millennial, which is like Feisty Fan. She's not annoying, but they're so few and far between. I kid, millennials, please. The second season of the acclaimed Neil Gaiman adaptation will see Mr. World, Crispin Glover, Back to the Future, task Mr. Town with tracking down Shadow, Ricky Whittle, the 100, and finding out what he wants to know about Mr. Wednesday, Ian McShane, and Deadwood's plan. Town's methods are brutal, efficient, and may help him get to the root of what the world's curious question of the world and is curious. Yeah. Interesting. First Nations actress Jacobs will portray Sam Blackcrow. What's a First Nations actress? Oh, is that like Native American? Okay. First Nations, Canadian. Gotcha. Okay. I'm with you now. Sam Blackcrow, a college student that is spiritually cynical for someone despite claiming to believe in so much. She lives life with a fierce confidence and openness, selling chainsaw art that she carves out by roadside for extra money. That reminds me of a story. I was in Palm Springs one time, and I was at Joshua Tree out camping and doing some bouldering. What bouldering is, you climb boulders. And on the side of the road was a transgender and his 10-year-old son selling mortar shells that they found out at the Air Force Base, like emptied out mortar shells for $10 a piece. And I'm like, that's when you it's called a David Lynch moment when that happens. You know, you're in the middle of the desert. I mean, there was no buildings or anything. They were on a road 5 miles away from any kind of a building. Their car was there, and they had big mortar shells, and it was like windy as hell. And like the dude was missing a couple of teeth or something like that. And the kid was there. Kid was perfectly nice. He was perfectly nice. And yes, I bought 2 of those damn mortar shells because I'm like, this is too weird to pass up. I have to do this right now because this is my David Lynch moment. I don't know why I went into that diatribe right now. So we'll go back to the article. Kim will take on the recurring role of New Media, the goddess of global content. And in this age, a cyberspace chameleon who is also a master of manipulation. She will be a new, younger version of the character following Anderson's portrayal of Media in season 1, which was beyond genius. Gillian Anderson playing David Bowie was probably one of my favorite TV moments ever. That was so fucking good. And the Lucille Ball was pretty damn good too. But this almost makes sense. And we brought this up in the recap. It's like, this Media is kind of old. Like this version of Media is kind of old, Nate. So the changing it makes sense. And, you know, at least we'll get a finished show now that Fuller's gone. You know what I mean? So Where the hell did you guys go? I lost the chat. Boom, boom. I'll just bring you back this way. Again, sorry for the silence, folks. I am going to the chat, which I lost because I have too many goddamn windows up. Bye-bye. There we go. Got to get there the hard way, the long way. Oh, 300. Oh, wow. We're 8 away from 3,900 subscribers. We might hit 4,000. That's insane. I mean, I guess we eventually will. That's really insane. Oh, what's up? How's your father? Yeah, sorry. I even started late today. But yeah, I got to end it because like we're gonna come back on to do Farscape. Yeah, I lost the chat. I'm sure the window's around here somewhere, but I just found it again. Here we go. We'll go back up. And yeah. So, and the last thing we're going to get to is Susan's article on Tom DeLonge and Ancient Aliens. Also, there was another thing that came up. I don't know. Did you guys see American Gods? What did you think of American Gods? Watchmen, the Leftovers edition, right? Oh, I know a lot of people had a lot of good things about the Leftovers. I couldn't personally get into it, but a lot of my friends loved the show. That was David Lindelof, right? Feisty fan. American Gods is on. I think if you get a Hulu extension, you have to get stars. So you get the Hulu extension, or you get the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray's out, and it's like $20. I don't know what it's streaming on though. I might have a digital version of it that you can have, Feisty, because I have the Blu-ray, so I don't need the digital version. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. Oh, you got to pay for it though. Yeah, I'll hook you up, Feisty. Don't worry. American Gods is fucking cool. It's really good. It is good. Gillian Anderson is fucking amazing. She is not returning, Rough Girl. Or is she returning the X-Files? I think she might be returning the X-Files. But yeah, she is. Unless she comes back for like an episode. I don't know. What did you see that somewhere, Rough Girl? I mean, I'm not going to doubt you because that'd be great if she comes back. God, season 2. Yeah, Gillian Anderson is not returning. She's out. Unless they change her mind. I kind of hope she does. I'd love to see them both in there. Even for like an episode, I'd be fine with that. I'm trying not to say you're annoying out loud, Feisty. I mean, but if you want to call yourself out, that's on you. Also, the only hype of Hot Girl Talk to me, a comic book fan actress who plays a superhero. Okay. Crosstalk there. Everything from Stan Lee to people running fake scam on EVS name to transsexual comics mafia jumping Brandon Graham. What? Did I miss that? That must have been somebody else's stream. I did see somebody tried to scam EVS. They tried to start a Kickstarter over there when it's an Indiegogo thing, and that got shut down. I think they only got in $47 in. But yeah. Oh, that he was just asking what's going on now. Yeah, that's everything that all the other guys can talk about, James. Like I said, I'll talk about AVS. I do like going to Bounding in the comics. I do. Listen, I go to Bounding in the comics and IO9. I check them both out. So, but Bounding in the comics actually had some really good posts today. They were talking about James Gunn gave an update, and they also talked about EVS, who's eaten by the Skyver. He's doing Indiegogo right now on a Cyber Frog, which is a property of his from the 90s. It's doing very well. Somebody tried to start one, some, troll or something tried to start one on Kickstarter. Didn't last long. Surprised that doesn't happen more often, to be honest with you. It goes to show you there is a lot of trust in the world. Because and like Indiegogo, the way it's set up, so Kickstarter, biggest difference is Kickstarter doesn't charge your card until the creation happens. Indiegogo charges your card immediately, which means Indiegogo is the scammers will hit it sooner than later. So enjoy it now. If it's a creator you trust and know, totally back it. But unless you don't care that you lose the money, just really try to vet people that are on there. And there's scams, and then there's people who have every intention to finish something, but there's, a lot of artists are not really the most disciplined people in the world. Okay. And they don't finish it, or it takes them a really long time. So keep that in mind. If you give $5, that's $5. If you're dropping $1,000 on somebody's Indiegogo or something like that, like the most I ever spent one was $400 on the Veronica Mars Kickstarter, and I got what I paid for. We got a mention, and I think on the credits, and got a free DVD like early, got my t-shirt, got my sticker, and the movie was meh. It wasn't that great, to be honest with you. It wrapped a lot of the stuff up from the series, but the movie was kind of boring, to be honest with you. Hate to say that, but yeah, Stars app, which I could give you the password for, Feisty. I got a Stars app password. Da, 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 da. You don't like Timothy Olyphant, Viking bitch? He's one of my favorite actors. I don't like him in the zombie thing with the zombie realtor thing that's on Netflix. I forgot the name of it now. It's like Ventura or something. That's something down in Ventura County or something. The Santa Clarita Diet. That's right. I tried it. I didn't like it very much. Dennis loves it though. Fucking A. Yeah, Stars still has 2 good shows. It's got American Gods and Counterpart. Gotta love Stars. Oh, and back to you missing most of the Nooner. Has your father? You're really not missing much. YouTube vlog life. You were like the 8th subscriber on the Nerdrotic channel. You've been around a long time. I know that. You and Brian Smart and Douglas Williams. There's some other really, really old ones out there. But Viking bitch, when did you jump on? Was it the Tick you said? Before the Tick? The Tick? Penn Farm Girl has been around too. Penn Farm Girl, weren't you on not Westworld, American Gods? Don't I remember talking about American Gods, or was it Preacher? I can't remember now. But I remember talking to Penn Farm Girl because without disclosing your location, there was a hurricane, and you said you were, and this probably gives it away, but she said she was in the place where the hurricane was happening, and we wished her well. I'm getting that right, Penn Farm Girl? Indiegogo screwed you over, rough girl? Was it a creator or just Indiegogo, the site itself? Ion Trone, yeah. Ion Trone says X-Files ratings were dropping for the last season. Yeah, Gillian Anderson even trolled the X-Files producers when they were talking about not moving ahead with the show. And she's all, yeah, people usually don't move ahead when they lose 77% of their viewing audience. And you heard that right. X-Files lost 77%. So it's done. They can talk about it coming back. They should do like maybe one more TV movie and that's it. Yeah, I like Timothy Olyphant. Go, one of my favorite movies of all time. Love Go. You always got to love the philosophical drug dealer. Reminds me of somebody. I don't know who though. Yes, says Pen Farm Girl. It seems so long ago, right, guys? Yeah, it was only I can't find the picture now. Next Monday I'll show you. I screen capture our subs at the end of every month. So I've got an old one somewhere. Here, we got a second. I can babble. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll show you one that's do 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 do. So we'll do a little business on air here. Feisty and comics. We're gonna review episode 5. So you got episode 5, right? I Now we might start a little late because I need to watch it before we start, and I'm gonna be here for a little while longer because I'm having fun. And they don't cut out the hour anymore. So, but the voice is starting to go a little bit, which always surprises my wife because I don't ever fucking shut up. I'm like this at home too. Sorry. Where'd it go? Where's it's over here somewhere? Have you guys like? Do you have? We have a rolling cover. Dennis and John and my wife have a Facebook thread that has been going for 2 years. I mean, we could scroll up for 2 years. Um, so that's where all the pictures are from. Oh, now I can't find it. That sucks. Yeah, forget it. I just wasted everybody's time. But yeah, so I have a picture of us when we had 31 subscribers a little over a year ago. A little over a year ago. Dang it, I wanted to show that picture off, but never mind. It's not that important. Let's start at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds perfect. Is comic still here? Hey, Love Pond. Oh, so I saw your comment. And because you asked about like what we had against the Agents of Shield, and I know we shit on a lot. I really don't have anything against the show. I don't. I actually really liked the first 2 seasons a lot. And as I told you in the comments, the thing I have the problem with is they sold it to us as this thing that was going to interconnect with the movies, and that was in one of our very first podcasts for Comic Outpost when Disney bought Marvel. We said, you know what's going to be great about this is like they own a TV network, and they own they own the movies now, and what they can do, what they can start doing is you can tell the bullshit stories from the movie on TV. You can like do origins on TV or side stories on TV to fill in sub characters and for context. And they haven't done it. Like neither company can get their shit together to fucking do that. And you want to talk about like you would just make tons of money. Like those little Marvel, shorts that they used to do. Put those on regular television as a half-hour show and make it go directly into the movie. Yeah, that would. So it's the way the structure is in Hollywood, and they really need to break all that down. So thankfully, the streaming services are destroying Hollywood, and they're breaking all that down. Uh, Guys, I got a little homework for you, Feisty and Comics. Help me look for a reason why. It doesn't have to be answered today. But help me look for a reason why we can't see Farscape anywhere. Like it's such a pain in the ass to stream it or buy, yes, you can buy the complete and for $100 you can get all the seasons on Amazon, and that is a great deal. But you can't stream it anywhere. Like I can't even buy an episode for $1.99 on YouTube. It's stupid. So there's got to be a reason for that. Like it must be in some kind of rights dispute or anything. I'm not saying go out of your way, just if you hear anything. Um, There's also rumor that the original Teen Titans cartoon, the good one, might be coming back, according to one of the voice actors. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so let's get to the final article with Susan, and then I'll fill in some blanks here because I'm really into the, as Dennis calls it, the woo woo. All right, I'm going to try to keep the chat up too so I don't lose it again. Okay, sorry, that was very silent. And there we go. Boom, 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 boom. And this is by, you might recognize her, Susan Layton. Tom DeLonge from Blink 182 has a new gig, UFO Hunter. In the late 90s and early aughts, Blink 182 was everywhere on the radio with all the small things. And what's my age again? Now, lead singer Tom DeLonge is channeling his energy into UFO hunting. No one should take themselves so seriously, says Blink 182. Hell no. Aliens exist. In 1999, Tom DeLonge was part of an alternative rock band, Blink 182. It seems that every time I turned on the radio, I heard all the small things constantly being played on heavy rotation. Enema of the State was the top of the charts. Blink 182 is a San Diego band, okay, out of Poway. A couple of the guys have rolled through an old band called Unwritten Law, which is a classic old San Diego punk rock band. Who I've had friends in. If Tom DeLonge, I used to work on Tom DeLonge's car. So that's our connection. I used to work on his Acura SLX. Back in the day, I was in my 20s and I was turning wrenches. On the deep tracks of the Aliens Exist, oddly enough, the song seems to have been a harbinger of things to come for DeLonge. Instead of making music, his former rock star is looking up at the stars and searching for UFOs. What was once a hobby has now become a full-time vocation. Sorry, Freudian slip there. DeLonge isn't dabbling either. He is also serious about the hunt for extraterrestrial life. He has created a company, To the Stars Academy in Arts and Sciences. According to Hot Air, the musician was responsible for bringing forward news of a secret government program that has been studying the possibility of extraterrestrial phenomenon and led to the release of military videos showing flying craft, which nobody could quite explain. And that's the Tylenol UFO. I'll show you a picture of it later. As we reported on 1428 Elm, article in the creator of the X-Files, Chris Carter, and his thoughts of the secret UFO program, which they actually mentioned in X-Files this season. DeLonge was part of the group were the ones that had to help bring that helped to bring Harry Reid and Robert Bigelow's activities into light. Okay, so Harry Reid was secretly helping fund this UFO program. That was a real thing. The Tylenol film, though, there's some inconsistencies with it that I got to talk about. The week that the news broke, several videos released featuring unexplained aerial phenomenon or UAPs. UFOs, for Christ's sake. Luis Elizondo, who used to run a clandestine UFO program, is now one of the key members in DeLonge's organization, another high-profile personality that is joining forces with To the Stars is Christopher Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense under Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. According to the Washington Post, Mellon is thankful for someone taking new concerns seriously. There have been numerous other incidents along the East Coast in which unidentified flying objects have apparently penetrated U.S. defenses. There are more videos yet to be shared, and they just released one a little while ago. It was another pill, but it's pretty good. How exactly did DeLonge get the government to cooperate with him? Why is he special? Because he was tenacious and persistent. He didn't take no for an answer. In his words, he used his fame to meet with people he knew about the existence of UFOs and clandestine encounters and desert airports and vacant buildings deep within Washington, D.C. At least the conversation has started, and the CIA did release documents to the public. They did. Granted, some of those are redacted, but the mere fact that we have access to them is a step in the right direction. It's all part of disclosure. Okay. So I'm going to try to find. I'm going to try. I know this is a bit woo woo for you folks. Okay. I know. I know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure UFOs are real. I'm really into the subject, but I have never totally. I think I've seen something, but I haven't totally seen one in my life. But my wife's seen one. A lot of friends seen one. Um, and I think we've seen enough real stuff to say they exist. I mean, what they are, who knows? Who fucking knows? Sorry. I got lost in thought right there. My God, ADD in motion right there. Woo. Okay. So, yeah, that's Susan's. It was cool that Susan got that article with Tom DeLonge and Tom DeLonge. Actually, the real dope on this in the UFO community is there. A lot of people are jealous of him, so it's kind of split. Some people are saying he's a bit of a fraud. That he started this company and he's asking for money and stuff, but usually that's what you ask for. I think he's really into the subject. But there's two camps. There's the camp that believes Tom DeLonge and the camp who doesn't. Now he got caught in a bit of an inconsistency with that Tylenol video. Here, I'll try to find a picture of it. Tylenol, FO. Because the video actually was taken from two different times. And one guy was saying like one was off San Diego, a lot of this happening in San Diego, and one was not. Okay, so it was just some information that was inconsistent. Yeah, there it is right there. I mean, it's not a greatest picture of it, but if you guys haven't heard about it, this did get released. They talked about it in the New York freaking Times. So there was a little bit of disclosure, and it was the government admitting for the first time since Project Blue Book that, sorry, it's right here. It's really freaking small. Maybe I can get to a different picture and it's bigger. Where, yeah. These are crappy pictures. But so that was just an example. But it split the UFO community, so there's still people who, yeah, it's gotten weird. And the UFO community is kind of like the Ash versus Evil Dead community. They've split up and they're arguing. There's a lot of infighting, and it's not something I'm really into anymore. I'm like way more into Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock now, and Ancient Alien stuff. Not Ancient Alien, but Ancient Civilization stuff. Brian Forster, good stuff like that. We'll get to the chat one more time. Tylenol UFOs. Jesus Christ, I love America, but do you have some crazy fucking people over there? Yes, we do. We do. But you know what's funny is a lot of them like to live out there in the desert too. There's a lot of woo-woo going on in Sonora, Arizona, and some in New Mexico and Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is where I might move someday. And yeah, I like places with weird people. A giant space hab will always have poor people somewhere. Humans manufacture poverty. Yes, they do. The Expanse portrayal, de Belters, is more full-throated, a bit of fleshed out look. That's right. You're damn straight. Did you notice on Ashford, Grady, that he's got the scars on the neck? So the reason the Belters tattoo their necks right here is to cover up the scars they have from working out in space. Have they explained that in the show? I might have forgotten that they did. It didn't seem like they did, but yeah. So I thought it was cool that Susan got that article up there. And you want to see Susan? She's up Friday nights on our podcast. No, I think some shit is actually UFOs. I think what or why? I don't know. I think 99.9% of it is absolutely explainable by science and reality and stuff, but it's that what they always say, it's that 0.1%. Small Yoda 3. Have we got any more details on the Amazon deal? I'm wondering if Amazon will now have total control of the IP, or the IP is still under Alcon's control with Amazon's acting as SVOD distributor. Small Yoda 3, that is an excellent question. Belinda was in earlier on the live stream, and she said that no deals are known right now, and she's kind of my inside source right now. I mean, you know, there are people. I honestly, I need to go through, and I've only gotten through half the comments on all our videos because one video has like 1,000 comments, so it's like hard for me to get through it all. But there was some information within that comments, and some people have emailed me, which I have not responded to. But as we know now, nothing. It would be my hope, Small Yoda, that Amazon does take control of the IP and just owns it outright, because then we would get, that would be fucking awesome. That would just be awesome. So I wonder if Alcon's willing to sell it. They'd be stupid not to. I mean, this is a show that was going to be canceled otherwise. So if Amazon's like, hey, just let us buy it, you say yes, especially when you're a company that just took a big old friggin' bath on Blade Runner. You're right, Mako. Graham Hancock's is not into ancient aliens. I misspoke. I meant to say ancient civilizations. He is not. Neither is Randall Carlson, and I know Giorgio, and I like the ancient alien theory. While I think maybe they've come and popped in on the past, no, I'm way more into the thing. I'm way more into right now is that there was a pre-Ice Age civilization that was pretty advanced. Now, were they spaceships and cars advanced? No, they were like maybe like Roman advanced, and they were completely wiped out before the Ice Age. And the only evidence we have is some foundations, and they were insanely good with stonework, with masonry, with, you know, blocks that we can't move today that were cut out by humans. And, you know, and right now, and this was no wheel, cut with chicken bones, or cut with, you know, bronze, which you couldn't do. You know, the stuff from the Aswan quarry is like a level 7 in hardness. You can't cut it with fucking steel barely. So you need diamonds to cut it. And they were able to cut with precision and blocks that were just thousands of tons. That's, again, shit we can't move today. And the whole thing of elephants moving these big blocks is nah. So there, that's what I think, is there was a pre-Ice Age culture that was very old and advanced for the, you know, for a Stone Age culture, might have had the wheel and just got completely wiped out, along with over 100 species of megafauna. You know, every mammal over 100 pounds in North America got wiped out. It's the stuff we don't think about. And 10,000 years ago, there was 3 species of elephant walking around America. So, and there was a woolly rhino, and their explanation was they got hunted out of existence, but there was millions of them and thousands of us. And we, and these were giant creatures, and we killed them all with spears. I don't believe that. And there's also like these up in Siberia and in Canada, there's, you know, areas where you just find thousands. There's in Siberia, there's a whole trade of going into the permafrost and digging out mammoth bones and getting ivory to sell to China. And they've been doing it for years and years and years and years, and the stuff hasn't run out. And it's one little area where everything died. Some things died flash frozen with like food in their mouths and stuff. That one of those theories has been debunked and the other one has not. Yeah, it's really interesting. And I don't find that to be very woo. I think the what Graham Hancock's theory is that something superheated the ice shelf in the ice age and melted it really quick. And then something happened to me because the ice age stopped really fast and then started again and then stopped again really fast. So it was the Younger Dryas period. Look, it's weird. It's really something very weird happened. And an asteroid struck Africa today. I was going to show you that too. Just for more woo woo. There we go. It's from our wonderful friends at Gizmodo, the most reputable thing in the world. I don't know how big of an asteroid it was. So, a meteor, and this is what Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson have been warning about. And the big wake up call was that, and we've talked about it before, the meteor that exploded over Russia back in 2013, and where we are in this certain part of space, like it's dirtier. We're in a dirtier part of space, and I remember when that meteor blew up over Russia. The day before, they said, "Hey, we're going to have a really close call with the big one." And the thing was, they saw the big one, but they didn't see the one behind it, which is the one that exploded over Russia. Now, if that same one had exploded over my city, thousands would have died. So, and that was just from the sound wave. A meteor lit up the sky over Botswana, Africa, early Saturday evening. Scientists discovered the 6-foot wide asteroid just hit hours before it reached Earth. And the thing is, they can't really see these things, and we really should be looking, because what Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock have been saying is, cataclysmic events we've been told happen like once every few million years, and it turns out that they happen quite a bit, like once every 1,000 years. You know, there's a theory out there right now that there was a major meteor strike that ended the Bronze Age, that landed outside of Australia, and then another one hit Norway possibly, and brought the end to the Bronze Age. That was 5,000 years ago. So, and Randall Carlson said that if you stripped all the vegetation off the Earth, that the surface would look a lot like the moon, like it's been struck a lot of times. I don't know if that's all entirely true. Again, this is something I just dabble in for fun. Don't mean to scare anybody, but yeah, that's why you want to, that's why you want to live life to the fullest and be nice to everybody, because you don't know when SMOD is coming. What is SMOD? Sweet meteor of death. Back to TV shows. Sorry, folks. Yes, Hancock is. I love Graham Hancock. I love Graham Hancock. You know what he's more into now, though, that I'm not really into, Mako, is like DMT and tripping and LSD. It looks like he went to South America, got some DMT, met God for a minute, and that's all. It's like Joe Rogan, dude. I love Joe Rogan, but man, that dude needs to like weave DMT into like every conversation. It's like, brah, okay, we know you met God. We've all tripped. And God bless it if you love it. But they're always talking about, him and some of the best okay, Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm trying to remember the numbers now. Just both with Randall Carlson, and then the ones with Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock are some of the best podcasts I've ever fucking seen. Search them if you haven't seen them. But he even talks about DMT, and Joe Rogan will talk about DMT at every one of those. It's like, dude, we get it. You like the God particle. You like the God drug. It's okay, buddy. Everybody loves to trip once in a while. Yeah. Joe Rogan is all about the DMT. He had Paul Stamets, the fungi expert, who they named the character Stamets and STD. They did? Oh, that is good trivia there, Mako. Thank you. Yeah, that's funny. And I like Joe Rogan's great. Good podcast. I'm a subscriber to his channel. And it's funny because like I could give a shit about MMA and DMT. Those are two acronyms I can give a fuck about. But like when he's really good at interviewing. The Kevin Smith one was good that he did. What is DMT? It is some South American I guess it's like a plant or a fungus that you put together and you trip on. It has to be supervised by some priest, and it's two ingredients that, like, I think one separately can actually kill you, but you put them together, and for 15 minutes, it is like the single greatest high ever, like ever. Like it's 1,000 good acid trips all into one, apparently, and meeting God is what I've heard. No, Gary, stop. It's it's like shrooms, man. And I've taken a lot of fucking shrooms. A lot of shrooms. A lot of shrooms. A lot of shrooms. A lot of acid. A lot of acid. As a matter of fact, I had a flashback the other night. I was parking in the garage and it was kind of dark. I was in an underground garage downtown San Francisco and I had my phone and I'm calling my wife and I went, and my phone went like the trail went. And I went, whoa. And I did it again. I'm like, oh my God. And I started like, I'm like, wow, I did, and it's been like 30 years since 25 years since I dropped some acid. So yeah, you can still get flashbacks, or maybe I was having a stroke. I don't know. DMT, yeah, DMT is they use it, Grady, to get high of some sign. They call it the God particle or something. Yeah, I don't know shit about it, but they talk about getting high on it, and it's is it like ayahuasca or some shit like that? It's extracted commonly from the bark of the something tree. It is smoked. It's like 1,000 acid trips all at once in like 20 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. I know shit about it, but um, I don't know. I'm not big on getting high anymore. So with that whole clean and sober thing, I think the natural chemicals in your body can actually do the best job. But yeah, I heard it's fucking amazing. And you can actually do it here in America if you're like supervised, right, by some priest or something, because it's considered a religious thing. Studies are being done on using DMT for PTSD treatment. That's cool. Something needs to be done about that. And I'm, all for, like, if you want to do your drugs in your own time, great. They should legalize everything, in my opinion, and then tax the fuck out of it for all the treatment centers you're going to need. But you need those things anyway. So if we can, probably, what's funny here, it's happening in California, is they found out something very surprising. Not that many stoners here. Not that many stoners here. They were expecting this big windfall of tax money from legalizing it, and it's falling way short to where California and San Francisco and San Rafael County all had to readjust their budgets because their pot money wasn't coming in. And yes, I laughed my fucking ass off. I'm like, ha ha ha. See, Californians like Coke. They don't like pot. Oregon, those fuckers in Oregon and Washington, they like pot. DMT is not recreational. It's a therapy. It needs to be respected, says Grady Broyles. Hey, that's cool. If it works, great. If it works, great. I'm not big on it's just my personal decision. I don't like psychiatric drugs. I don't like drugs. I think some are needed for extreme cases, and that is fine. But I think people manipulate shit like pot and DMT to get high. And it's very dangerous to the addict when that is a condition that needs to be respected. That is a condition that is not respected. And addicts die every fucking day because it's not respected. So yeah, that's the way I feel about it. I've watched too many kids die in the program. I've sponsored kids who've died from opiates and shit like that. So yeah, DMT, if it's but pot is looked at as this harmless fucking drug. It's not. Okay. Here, let me lay some pot facts on you right now. The people argue this every day. I learned this from the head of the head brain surgeon at the Eisner Medical Center when I was at the Betty Ford Center. And THC deposits itself in the fatty cells of your brain, stays there for, if you are a regular pot smoker, it stays there for 2 years, basically retarding you. Now, it doesn't make you stupid or anything, but it does hurt your memory. It slows you down. The good thing is, if you stop, it goes away. It's like one of the things that doesn't do lasting damage. So if you actually stop, it goes away. But if you keep doing it, it makes it worse. So yeah, I know it's old news. The only good drug is sex. You're right. Every time I turn on the news, it seems they're talking about something depressing that is happening now. Yeah. Or something that depressing. Yeah. I try not to watch the news. I heard pot is particularly bad for it is particularly bad for teenagers in those growing minds. No such research exists for DMT. Is it? Does it? Sounds like it needs to happen though. That was the whole point of the studies were illegal. They were no way to get that. There was no way to get that data because the DMT was illegal. Mako, being a Manchester United fan, is a bad drug. Remember the can't. Thanks, Morks. I must have harshed some buzzes. I do that. Not a fan of that stuff. When you see as much as I have, you don't understand. But yeah, we can also remember the can't. We can. Let me go back up here. It's past 2. It's past 2 hours. Oh, it's way past 2 hours, dude. We're in the 3-hour territory now. Oh, battle markers. I smoked pot for 15 years myself. I did. Yeah, Farscape is going to be at 7 now. We can't stop the work. We must continue. Yeah, studies on cannabis until 3 years ago were illegal because they had no way to get pot from federal government. So all research into the back is literally propaganda. Not true, Grady. There was always forms of legal pot and stuff. And they have done many studies. Pot's great. I wish my dad was able to use it. It was actually his pride that kept him use it when he was dying of cancer. I just there's some pot people say that people will jump off, but there's some I think there's pro pot propaganda too. There's a lot of it. Okay. Pot is pot. Okay. It's just a freaking drug. And if people want to use it as a drug, bless you. That's fine. I voted to legalize it. Okay. So you can't judge me for that. I voted to make it legal. And we had a pot dispensary right down the street from my comics shop. And those guys who ran it were awesome. They were fun guys. They came in and bought a lot of comic books. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I wish my dad would have smoked it when he was dying of cancer, to be honest with you, but he wouldn't. And he had that option. Okay. And this was back in 2000. So there, pot, the fact that pot was illegal didn't mean you couldn't test on it. Okay. Government can do whatever. There is government pot. It exists. They grow it themselves. That is a fact. I was in Portugal, Gary, and all drugs are legal there and they have fewer addicts. People use drugs because it's taboo and forbidden, Mako. I agree 100%. That's why I kind of think they should legalize everything. But legalizing everything and making and saying pot is it is the least harmless. It is like it's it's not as harmful as a lot of other drugs. Okay, it's um, alcohol's way more harmful. Alcohol's the worst. Uh, Murder is taboo and forbidden, says JP. And some people like to do that. Not many though. Uh, yeah, I think it will be eventually. And the funny thing is though, it's just they didn't get as much tax money. That's what the whole point about it is. They thought they were going to get a ton more, and it's that even surprised me. I was like, God, did they count wrong or something? But the theory behind it was that they did tax it like way too much to where people just kept getting it from their dealers. They're like, I'm not going to pay legally and have to pay like 17% tax on my fucking pot when I can go to Johnny over there and still get my my ounce for whatever. um Doug 34 says that's two strikes against me. Two strikes. Pots and alcohol. Yeah, we don't judge here, Doug. And Doug, you might not be the only person with two strikes. Know what I'm saying? Okay. Grady says it's been less than a year. Give it a fiscal year. They need to bring the tax down a little bit, and I think they'll buy. And I read that in a very pro pot newspaper, San Rafael, up in San Rafael. They just need to rejudge it. What they're doing is they're taxing too much, so people are just still getting it, on the side. And I've always said that we're going to see more people arrested when pot's legal than when it was illegal for tax reasons. The government's really going to go after tax evaders and stuff like that. And you're going to see that's what they're going to get them. They're not going to get busted for the pot. It's just the economics around it, which are a bit confusing right now. Okay, so there was one field for legal pot, and all you wanted to question here was really hurt people. You didn't get access, period. Oh, what was that? There was one field of legal pot, and if you wanted question whether it really hurt people, you did not get access, period. So my memory is a bit faulty. As it turns out, at the end of episode 1, season 2, there is a body floating face up that looks like the Man in Black right after the line, "Tell me what happened." So was that you yesterday who was asking about that in Westworld? Okay, so I went back and looked. The only thing that I saw that looked like the Man in Black was a guy. When there's a long shot of the beach and you see there's like a little outlet or cliff, there is a body that looks like it's crawled onto the beach that's got a hat next to it. Possibly. I would show you the picture, but I get a stupid copyright strike from WPTV. So I listen, people can smoke pot all they want. I don't care. My friend smoked pot. My wife may or may not smoke pot. I don't judge. I think it's I've seen both sides of the argument quite literally. I may or may not have helped grow quite a bit too. There's a lot of stuff I don't talk about, but yeah. And my memory is very faulty. There is no known lethal dose of LSD. Lethal in the sense of like it, like killing you. No. But one hit of acid can be lethal to the wrong person, and you know that. Yeah, could be I've seen that happen more than once. I've seen guys that just trip their balls off and they're fine. They're fine. I mean, I used to work dead show parking lots. Okay. But then I saw one guy like take it once and never came back, but he had other problems too. It wasn't just the acid. Farscape, is it 2.5 hours? I want to watch the episode you'll review. What episode is it? It will be, hang on, I'll get that for you. Uh, uh, Let me look it up. Uh, I'm waiting for, while I wait for that to fire up. Yeah, I didn't mean to start some brouhaha about pot. That's just my personal feelings on it. And it's not even on the drug itself. It's on the, some people like to make it sound like it's smoke that's good for, it's still like got carcinogens, it still burns your lungs. I mean, there's still things that are bad about it. But walking out and breathing the air is bad too. So, you know, and if you want to smoke pot, go for it. I could care less. I am I'm a full blown do whatever the hell you want as long as it's not affecting me. Um, Gary, do you think Bobby and our Avasarala will return before the end of the season? I was expecting to see what would become of Aaron Wright's punishment wise. Morks, yes, they will, because I think they might have gone into the season thinking this might be their last season. Now Belinda would know for sure. I heard that they wrap everything up at the end to where they could have ended the series. So yes, I think we will see them one more time. I do. That's right. Back and Back to the Future. Thank you, Viking bitch. I think their memories are all getting worse. Use the brain or lose it. There you go. Way back. Uh, Tonight's Farscape rewatch is season 1, episode 5. Thank you very much. Uh, you can give yourself emphysema. Yeah, I mean, not carcinogen, but smoke. Yeah, smoking going in your lungs is bad. But there's edibles and ice cream and stuff if you really like that stuff. It was funny. Funny story is my wife ate the pot. The guys from the dispensary like would trade me pot stuff for comics, which is like useless. It's like trading me. It's like when I was in a band and we play for a bar tab. It was like fucking that does me nothing. Give me a Red Bull, you know. But they gave me the ice cream, so I gave it to my wife, and like it had the reverse effect on her. So she started cleaning the house. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get her pot ice cream all the time because she never. I mean, I clean the house. I clean the house. Yeah, she don't clean, which is fine. That's not when I. She likes to tell me, yeah, I'm not a housewife. I'm like, oh, I know, and that's good. I'm down with that. You go, girl. Red Bull is my coffee. Yes, I have a serious coffee problem. George Carlin said his even saliva will kill you, but not if swallowed in small amounts over a long period of time. uh, See you at Farscape, Feisty. All right, yeah, I got to wrap this thing up. It's digressing into a pot debate that I don't want to have. Yeah, I usually don't care about things I don't do. But God, you would not believe how many times in the meetings where it's like, I'm sober except for, and then I find out they smoke pot and it's like, you're not. And then I have to have this argument. and, and it's becoming acceptable in some circles. And I'm like, okay, what? And the thing I like to say is this with anything, if you got to do it every day, you're addicted to it. And that's could be fucking gummy bears, and if it doesn't hurt you, that's fine. That's fine, whatever. But generally, if there's something you have to do every day, then there means there's something that you're not dealing with, something to think about. Again, a lot of this shit's harmless, and that's fine. That's 4K. Dude, 4K. I didn't think we'd ever like hit 4K, but it looks like we might. Oh, bye, Master Cam. That was a good time. Thanks for everything. And I'm gonna go right now too. I gotta get going, man. I gotta save my voice for Farscape and Pot Smokers. I love you. Don't worry. I love you guys. Don't worry. I just think there's good and bad in everything. Okay. But don't make it sound like it's that's the doctor's name. This one is original work. Original work. This one, there's a story behind. This is one of my oldest ones. And it looks like what it is. And this is a cover up of some oval of a sugar skull, like some really bad self-done tattoos that I'm glad nobody will ever see again. Yeah. A few weeks ago on AfterBuzz TV review of Legion, they had Legion sound guy on. Oh, really? And when one of the girls gave her prediction, he shook his head ever so slightly. They had the sound guy on. That's cool. Maybe we should get the sound guy on. Thank you. What is that? It'll hit, man. It'll hit, man. Philip A. Demick. Farscape season 1, episode 5 is on YouTube, but it's blocked to me for copyright. Interesting. I hate the smell. It's called skunk weed for a reason. There you go. LSD is nowhere near as bad for you as LDS. My guys, that was funny. Thanks, YouTube Vlog Life. All my tattoos are old. The video contains context of LDS, which is blocked on all copyright grounds. Yep. Tattoo count? No. God, no. Okay. I've got to go. I've got to really go. So thanks for hanging in there, pot smokers. I freaking love you. And our next show will be in a couple hours with Feisty Fan and Comics Division. The next show we're going to cover is going to be Legion tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. And then, of course, we're back with the Expanse at I'm losing it now at 8:30. So there, check it out there. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdrotic, and go to nerdrotic.com, and that's where our TV schedule is for what we recap. So guys, great time today. Love the Monday live stream, and I will see you guys next Monday or a little bit later. And real quick, thanks for the super chats, which were Dakota Stanton for $5, Anthony Sue, for a Canadian $5, Feisty Fan for $4.99, and Farm Girl for $5. And thank you for all the wonderful patrons. Sorry, I yammered on too long. Like, share, and subscribe. And thanks everybody for joining in the chat. It was great talking to you as always. You guys make the show, and you have a great day. Take care. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness.